The Yellow Brick Road. This video does not reflect the actual views of real people. These are actors playing a role to entertain audiences. No persons or animals were harmed in the making of this video. Gosh, I love YouTube and I love Google.
Welcome to the Yellow Brick Road. I'm Jordan. This is James. And we're going to be talking about...
Don't even say his name.
Steven Crowder.
No, it's...
All jokes aside, this might be one of the either most ignorant or most corrupt YouTubers in history.
Or political commentators.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever the fuck he is. I'm a comedian.
In any subject.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone so just gloss over ideas, facts, whatever. I've never seen someone just jump over them and go on to the next subject.
While maintaining their, morality,
He's the cherry picker of cherry pickers, I think.
There's a reason why he debates college kids, just saying. And by college kids, I mean his fans. Every time he farts. Woo! If he queefs, yay! Just saying.
And if someone brings up a decent argument, I'll change the topic.
But we agree on this. Mike, just don't too close. You're too close. Too close.
All right, so yeah, this is just open forum.
Crowder, and Crowder.
There's gonna be open forum. Always watching anyways, but we'll answer any questions at the drop of a dime. We'll switch topics. We don't give a shit. This is about us. We're the guys. Alright.
It's about my needs.
So this is Steven Crowder. Early Steven Crowder praising Israel for some reason. He's on a team.
Hey everyone, this is Steven Crowder. Happy New Year. God bless. Here's to praying that it's a great one. Firstly, let's talk about Israel and Palestine. Or for the purposes of this video, Hamas. Thursday was the first day of wrath waged against the nation of Israel. In case you didn't know, there was an official day of wrath waged against Israel on Hamas's part. What happened on this day? Israel kicked the crap out of them slightly more. I mean... Hamas, what were you thinking? You don't telegraph your blows to Israel? Say what you want about these guys, but they're some of the toughest SOBs on the planet. Hamas is like that kid in the schoolyard who always threatened everyone with karate, and then when he really got into a fight, he just got worked. Like, hey, you guys, don't mess with...
A question.
Is it from God?
Joe Fish. What made you want to start YouTube?
Let's call him Joe Fish.
Joe Fish. How do we do a fish thing? Something like that.
So what is so?
Well, the point is to save the world.
It's not like I want to get paid or anything.
Yes, check out our PayPal that we don't have. Our potential PayPal.
I'd rather just someone throw a brick through my window tied with money. That's all I want.
Have you ever studied physics? And there's this thing called potential energy. That's where our PayPal is.
Potential energy.
It's resting in the dimension of potential energy. But yeah, the point is to critique things, call things out, entertain ourselves. And all of that is meant to bring joy to the world and save it from itself.
And from this guy.
Yeah, this guy's just...
He's what we call over here a punk bitch.
So right off the bat, he's already mocking Hamas, but he might as well say Palestine too. And I don't think he understands why Israel is so powerful in the Middle East. It's like they were born with advanced weaponry technology. They were born with it.
It was just there.
Just happened to be there.
They just waltzed over there and they had weapons. There was no arms deal or anything. There was no coup. No.
And by the way, he's talking about people dying when he's like...
Yeah, it's a joke to him.
And they kicked your ass. When you see that shit, he's talking about people being blown to pieces.
My team.
Just remember that. Alright, continuing.
Me, I know karate. 2 seconds later. And I know a lot of people have been siding with Palestine. There's a lot of anti-Semitism going on. Some people are like...
There's the typical argument.
Yeah,
that you hear
anti-Semitism.
from...
Like, if I'm against what Israel does, as far as its government, all of a sudden I'm anti-Semite.
Yeah.
You know?
These are the things you'll hear from AIPAC, the ADL. Those are the arguments. If it's like, well, Israel's... you killed 23 innocent people today.
Yeah.
You're being an anti-Semite. Did you know that?
Why are you bulldozing people's houses? You only say that because you're a Nazi. It's like, what?
You're critiquing the expansion.
I have a band on my arm now. It's like, oh no. My hair turns blonde. Oh. It's like, my name tag says Dolph. No. No.
Now,
Scheiße.
Now, we're not experts on global events and politics and shit.
No,
but I do understand that that's the perception of a lot of anti-Israel people.
Oh, sure, and I can give references as well.
So, if they have that type of context, then it would be natural for them to be like, fuck those guys.
Yeah.
And that does not make them anti-Jewish.
Yeah. Anybody that kills anybody, it's like, yeah, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, fuck them. But this is just a warm-up video. It gets worse the more we go on.
This is a throwback to remind everybody, hey, he said this.
You would think that he would mature over time, like, okay, maybe I should actually take my ideas and critique them so I can come out with something better. But I think he just continues the same storyline.
Yeah,
Let's continue.
He's a herb.
Let's continue.
Well, you know, the only reason it's like this is because Israel oppresses them.
Okay, let's assume for a minute that that's true. All right. Why doesn't Palestine just oppress Israel then?
They're not backed by the U.S.
Well, because they can't.
And why is that?
Because they're not backed by the U.S.
Well, because they don't have the power, the technology to do so.
Why is that?
Because they're not backed by the U.S.
Because
they're not backed by the U.S. You can see the thing.
Wait. And that means money, guns, and manpower.
Also, taking out rivalries around the surrounding regions, too.
That, too. So then, by the time before you know it, you're surrounded.
Like I said, we're not experts, but somehow I understood that.
Yeah. Also, maybe after Dawson.
Yeah, Ryan Dawson would be. Well, how do you protect the nuclear power in the Middle East? Well, you take everyone else's nuclear power away. That's how you do it.
And you threaten them, you play war games. But it's... Here he goes.
because
And then her head explodes. I know you wouldn't expect it, but actually some craniums have exploded.
That's the worst argument ever.
Yeah.
How did I do that with 3 words? Did I use 3 words? Nah, I used more than 3 words. Whatever. 3 or 4 phrases. The exact same phrase.
In this thought process, it's a scientific fact. The truth is, their right explodes. I know you wouldn't expect it, but actually some craniums have exploded in this thought process. It's a scientific fact. The truth is, they're right. I mean, a lot of these other countries are living in the Dark Ages, but we have to ask, why is that? Israel has arguably the best military intel in the world.
They're U.S.-backed.
Heavily.
And, again, not a political expert, but I heard they used forms of terrorist methods to get their country in the first place.
Would not doubt it. And to probably a reliable guy to look at is probably Dawson.
Yeah. Don't listen to us. Go check out Ryan Dawson.
They crap in sand dunes. Israel has a high quality of living and is often at the forefront of modern technology.
They're U.S.-backed.
They sell rugs. Why do you think that is?
Yeah.
One being backed by a massive, massive, massive machine.
And the other probably has sanctions on it. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
So one giving stuff and one having stuff taken away. And then Israel may control the imports for Palestine.
Baby.
But that's because they were just born with all the technological weaponry.
It was theirs.
Yeah. God-given.
It's a Jewish state.
God-given technology. Right.
Feel free to leave your answer below. And then the UN came out and tried to demand a ceasefire. And Israel was like, no, we're not going to do that. And the US was all, yeah, good going Israel. Yeah, hey, just forget them. You keep doing what you got to do.
That doesn't creep you out and make you like... See, I don't read psychopath here. I read religious fundamentalist, self-fulfilling prophecy, brainwashed, typical Republican talking point guy.
And a narcissist.
That's what I hear.
I mean, does anybody really respect the UN anymore? I mean, if this isn't a complete display of their total lack of authority or relevance.
It does remind me of Chappelle's show. It's like, what's the UN gonna do? You gonna bomb me with your army? That's right.
You don't have an army.
So I guess you should shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Alright.
They're like that parent who couldn't even give their kid a timeout. Young man, you're gonna get a timeout.
And that kid has a gun and nuclear bombs.
Yes. And basically created the UN.
Basically.
Right? They're the victors of World War II. Right? That's when the UN was like sort of made. Not experts. We're just using common sense to shit on this guy's argument, which is poor. Very poor, actually.
It's like he planted a seed and it just stopped there. Like nothing came about. Must be the soil. Like,
Israel, we demand a ceasefire.
No.
That would make sense if you're looking for peaceful ways to solve the situation.
see, killing people? Yeah. No, we're not going to stop.
Well, you see, they're all religious crazy people, so we just got to keep bombing them until they shut up.
Yeah.
And let us take over their country, or take more of it.
Okay. And what I want to know is, where's Barack Obama's stance in all of this? Has anyone seen a statement? I mean...
Basically, every president I've heard, they all support Israel, no matter what. They're afraid of losing in the campaign trail.
Yeah, allegedly the last president that didn't support Israel might have been Kennedy. I don't know. That could be a lie. Wouldn't be surprised if he did.
But every modern one, for sure. The only thing you might have is Obama saying, you guys need to stop building, stop moving your territory into Palestine, or stop building housing and shit like that.
I don't give a fuck though, fuck him.
They'll just say no and just keep going. Yeah. And he won't do anything about it.
No. But you'll do shit about Afghanistan and Syria, right?
Yeah. But we'll get to those topics, though.
This man's going to be the leader of the free world in the next, 16 days? Is he too busy airbrushing out his six-pack on the beaches of Hawaii? That's another thing. Why was Barack Obama in People's or
As Matt Hunter would say, that's not an argument and has nothing to do with what you're talking about.
Star Magazine's top 10 list of hottie celebrity physiques. Barack Obama has the worst kind of body possible. Skinny fat. He is a man who manages to keep a very small, unattractively frail stature while maintaining virtually zero muscle mass whatsoever. I guess those cigarettes are catching up with him.
The fuck is this?
Hey,
this guy's
aren't all these presidents like old men and shit?
They're old men at like.
Why aren't you talking about like George Bush or Bill Clinton or anything? I'm sure you talk about Clinton, but you skip over George Bush.
And Bush Senior.
Now watch this swing.
No, now watch this drive. It's clearly edited.
Yeah, those guys are athletes.
It's like, not bad, murderer.
Those guys are athletes.
Here's to hoping you don't fall off the wagon again, big guy. In case some of you out there don't know where I stand, go Team Israel! You know, to Israel, listen, despite current trends or political winds, just know that you guys have some serious allies here in the States, and we love you, we support you, and Godspeed.
God, this guy's a fuckboy.
You seem pretty dorky, right?
Go Israel. He's a fuckboy, what do you expect?
He looks and sounds like an extra in like the Bill and Ted movies when they're in the mall and shit. He's just that guy hanging around. Like, yeah, man.
And what I mean by fuckboy is someone that's very incredibly ignorant and makes a joke of something, you know, which is this shit's serious, you know. Yeah. This shit's a joke. Yeah. Go Team Israel. Like, do you have any idea what happens over there? You know, I'm no expert.
How could you be?
I can weigh both stories that have been told to me and which one is actually like, okay, this one sounds the most legitimate, makes the most sense.
One has more details.
Yeah.
Okay, we have an incident here, here's the dates and the times it happened.
Yeah.
Here's the exact weapons used, and the other story is Hamas is firing rockets into our city.
He used chemical warfare. He did it. How do you know? Well, we don't know. Like, you just said he did it.
Nah.
Well,
if you're any type of righteous person, you're not taking any sides. You always take the moral high ground. Isn't that the fucking point of any of this?
They don't know.
Why are you talking about warfare or, you know? He
might be the guy that.
How you talking about good and bad without
his
good?
His morals depend on what's written. That might be him. Yeah. Even if it is written, I've heard him go fucking like south on that too. Just kill them. Just kill them, people. Just kill them. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, that was just Exhibit A of why Steven Crowder might be the worst YouTuber I've ever seen. He's
not the worst.
He's the worst I've ever seen.
Seriously?
Because I think
he's one of the creepiest I've ever seen.
I think he's trying to be like a news source in a way, trying to have a large shaping of the public's opinion.
He wants that clout.
Yeah, he's clout chasing.
All right.
So
Israel versus the world. Look,
moving on. This is an older Steven Crowder.
This is Floyd. It's for Israel though.
Let's hear the dumb shit that comes out of his mouth this time.
Guess who's at it again? Those Jews.
It's like, okay, take one. Can we do that again? Brad? More makeup on this side? Can we do that again?
Jews. Steven, remember, you're lovable, yet funny, but you're a rascal. Go again.
You're on the edge, buddy. You let him know it. You show him.
You're louder. he's really like a girlfriend. Like, we're gonna get louder with the crowd. It's like, dude, get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out.
All right.
Earlier this week, Israel fired a warning shot into the armpit of the world commonly referred to as Syria. Now you...
Oh, you already see the insults. The armpit of the world.
Yeah.
Now, I understand comedy. Comedy is, you know, there's sort of no rules to it. But you can sort of see when there's an agenda and an objective with what you're saying.
I only draw the line with comedy when it's morally, like, wrong.
Yeah. But, I mean, when it's, like,
You know?
Like, okay, you're aiming at something.
I'm using my comedy to push this agenda. I'm like, now you're gonna get it. You know. That's what I mean.
Yeah. I agree with that.
That's why I see a lot of these comedians. They shit on like one like political spectrum. Like, okay, now do the other. Oh, you're not. Oh, now you're gonna push it. And then what is this? This isn't a comedy show. This isn't stand up. What is this? Who paid you? I'm serious. It's sad, man.
Viacom and CBS.
Yeah, Viacom.
Comedy Central.
I have sponsors.
MTV.
I have sponsors and investors, man. I have to keep this image. I'm like, you're inauthentic, okay, dude.
And it's funny. The most popular YouTubers are the ones holding all this bullshit.
I know. Well,
look at the left. Look at the left.
The other,
look at the left.
The other
shut up.
The other popular.
Go talk about Jimmy Dore.
The other popular ones have never heard of this and they don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Because of their audience. Right? Over here, no one ever dies.
Alright, continuing.
You may not have heard of this in news because it was a relatively peaceful, retaliatory warning shot fired back into Syria after several rockets had made their way to Israel. You probably have heard of the...
I mean, it's not like allegedly, right? Israel was bombing them every day or whatever.
I remember
there was some sort of retaliation.
I remember seeing like news headlines about Israel being bombed by Syria or something, or rockets being fired at Israel. Yeah. Come to find out, it was a territory they annexed in Syria. Mm. They took land in Syria, and then I guess Syrian forces were firing back at them.
Yeah.
It's like wait. So that's Israel too? They can go into Syria and say, this is Israel now. It's like, what?
And they get shot at, which is stupid, by the way.
Yeah, fuck them too. Let's be honest. Fuck those guys too.
So they shoot at them for invading. They're like, see? They're terrorists. That's the equivalent of me walking someone else's house. To your house. I'm eating your food. You're like, dude, get the fuck out. You touch me. Hey, crime. I fall down the ground. And go like, well, you push me or you punch. Like, get the fuck out of my house. He's a God. 911. A black guy just broke into my house. Like, what? And then it becomes the Chappelle Show joke. You know? Oh, there he is. Have you seen this before, Johnson? This took pictures of himself and put everywhere. I've seen this before when I was a rookie. Quick, sprinkle some crack on him and get out of here. That's what this is.
That scenario, yeah.
It's like
the Golan Heights or something like that.
Something like that, man.
All right.
I'm not advocating for anybody getting shot. That shit's dumb. But at the same time, when one, like, you know.
Well, when you're dealing with conditioned people,
yeah, I
expect them to retaliate in some type of way.
Sure. Just like this story, you know. And I'm sure I could cite it somewhere. Israel's bombing them like profusely, whatever the fuck, you know. And then Palestine retaliates in some sort of way. Like, shoots down like a jet or something like that. And it's like, then just blitzkrieg, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, and all you hear is Israel bombed by Palestine once again. Terrorist attack. It's like, wait a minute. They're both silly, but I'm not believing that. You see, it's like a half truth.
Yeah.
Exchange of rockets between Israel and Hamas now, as people have died, and that's always front page news.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Extra, extra, read all about it.
Whatever movie that's from or clip that's from, that's where these guys want to live. Extra, extra, nobody ever dies here. Black and white. Blah, 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 blah. Like I have a theory on that. It's like a conspiracy theory. They all secretly wish to live in the times of the Andy Griffin Show or something like that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the headline. Israel strikes 320 targets in the Strip since launching Operation Pillar of Defense. Pillar of Defense.
Operation Pillar of Defense. With assassinations of Hamas military chief. 16 Palestinians killed. Gazans fire over 270 rockets into south, killing 3. I'm like, yeah, dude, I love it. People dying. It's great.
Yeah. And the scenario, I think, is the rockets are, like, not really reaching Israel.
No, they're just like, eh.
It's like the outskirts of Israel they're hitting. And then these guys are just... Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right.
Now, I realize that a lot of people out there who have an opinion on this subject don't exactly know the history, so I'm going to try and wrap up everything you need to know in about 3 minutes.
Dawson will be proud. Here we go.
Dawson will walk in his house and eat his breakfast in front of him. Just like, what's up, man? Oh, you're going to do something? You will eat his Cheerios in front of him. Saying, okay.
This is not, we're not fans, it's just... This guy's history...
It just seems objective.
Seems incredibly distorted on purpose.
Yeah.
Post-Holocaust in 1948, as the Jewish state of Israel became formally and internationally recognized, it was immediately attacked by myriad Arab armies who were trying to exterminate Israel openly off the face of the earth.
That sounds right.
Well, you know, if I, like you said, I walk in someone's house and just plant a flag there and say, this is mine now. And then I have a bunch of friends outside saying, yeah, we recognize, this is his house. It's his now. We all recognize that. It's like, yeah, the occupants of the house might take exception to that. Mm. And also the surrounding areas to where they're like, whoa, they just did that. Are we next?
Yeah.
Just saying. I'm not some history expert, so.
No, but
please correct me if I'm wrong about that.
I could come up with stuff to argue against this, like straight up. And
now knowing that is key as we
we can reference it later.
We fast forward to the War of 67, which is most commonly seen as the crux of today's anti-Semitic leftist arguments.
Talking points, anti-Semitic if you're not pro-Israel no matter what. It's considered anti-Semitic.
Stop the massacres, Israel out of Gaza.
What is anti-Semitic about that?
It sounds like, we don't like the murderer. We don't like people getting killed.
Yeah.
And invading.
Yeah.
I can already hear Adolf cheering. He's like, oh, I love it. Those Juden must pay. Won't you get away this time? No. Auschwitz is still warm.
Fuck.
It's like, that's what they're doing. You anti-Semite. It's like, dude, people are fucking getting killed. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that might upset a few people.
If anything, if we're talking about like, you know, like racial shit, you know, it's like, isn't someone calling something a state like, okay, you call Israel a Jewish state? That's like me calling like New York a white Christian state or something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, that sounds pretty bigoted. But yeah. Let's just, you know, you Nazi. Oh. Whatever.
I agree.
67, the dictator of Egypt openly said that he was going to extinguish Israel from the face of the earth.
No, I don't agree with that.
67, the dictator...
Stop. Monster Nation, bloodthirsty Israel?
I understand that.
I understand that. Oh, I would use different words. You know?
I don't agree with what I'm saying.
No.
I understand.
I get the reaction.
It doesn't come off as racist.
No.
Because they're saying Israel.
Yeah, not Israelis.
But since Israel recognized itself as Jewish, it's anti-Semitic.
Yeah, of course.
It's a perfect loophole.
The dictator of Egypt openly said that...
That one's bad. That one's ignorant. That one's stupid.
Yeah.
Keep going.
That he was going to extinguish Israel from the face of the earth.
Of course
Syria and Jordan said, hey, that sounds like a party, we're in. They literally acted as thugs attempting to jump Israel in an alleyway. You are Jew? Leftists.
Alright, this guy would get washed in a debate. I could name 5 people I would wash this dude in a debate.
Yeah.
Right now. Corbett, Dawson.
Hold on. Stop. Are they college students? Are they 18 and 19-year-old college students?
No, and they're not 17 either with acne. And they're not fans. They're not his fans. That means they can't debate him.
They're just out of his league.
And they're not in his circle to begin with, where they would probably agree with him. Oh shoot. Gosh. I missed the boat again. Damn.
It's not like it would make perfect sense. You have a comedian that does political commentary, and you have another comedian named Jimmy Dore also does political commentary.
It's not like one is being incredibly disingenuous.
Well, it's not like that wouldn't be like a perfect debate to set up.
Oh no.
Like,
because one can sleep soundly at night, I would say.
Jimmy Dore, who calls himself a jack-off nightclub comedian,
yeah,
calls himself dumb, will destroy him in a debate.
Yeah.
And it won't be close.
No, it won't be.
He would need crowds and shit like that to make him sound like he's right. He needs people in the crowd clapping when he says something.
He plays to the crowd. He plays to the crowd. He makes insults. He makes gestures. He looks for pops in the crowd.
Here's the thing. He'd be sitting across from another comedian who can I can take your jokes and flip them on you.
Exactly.
It'd be match made in heaven.
This guy's light work, man. Yeah. And yet he has a following, and it's rather unfortunate.
They are still mad that Israel did not allow themselves to be mugged. Hey, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Yeah. That Jew's fighting back. Who does he think he is? Stay down!
They're U.S. backed. I don't think it was so much as pure willpower and determination. I'm sure that's present too, but they are nuclear armed, militarily supported by the most powerful army in the world.
Yeah.
And also the surrounding regions too.
Right. So it's
their ass kicked by Western powers.
Again, yeah, and they're supported by the country that, wherever they go, they never leave. Like an STD. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Like you can medicate it, but it's not going away.
Being forewarned of their extermination because the Arab leaders are a stupid people.
Once again, he uses words like extermination and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm not a history expert, but maybe we should go find out if any of these leaders were saying extermination.
Yeah.
That weren't crazy religious.
Are you quoting them? You know what I mean?
And I think Syria is pretty secular. They're
not
really a religious state. I don't think Turkey is either.
Yeah, he's not quoting anybody for any specific thing. He's not giving you specific date. Well, if he gives you a specific date, he's not describing the event very well. And I'm not either, but I'm going to give references at the end. The other thing to look at is, okay, is this guy's political ideology somewhat like religious?
Yeah.
How can I describe this?
We'll get to that.
Yeah. Dangerously vague.
Let's just say he reminds me, he's a dumbed down version of Ben Shapiro.
He religiously follows this shit. And whatever opposing point, hey, Crowder, listen, maybe it's possible that the U.S. backs Israel and they help them perform these war games with all these other surrounding countries, that it's very possible that they might be in the wrong here. No. No, you're dumb. It's fuck, dude. I don't know what to do here. Don't go there with morality with me, man. He'll get fucking washed too. Oh, you're the guy that talks about killing people and extermination and.
We'll get to that. Don't ruin the surprise.
Israel acted first and won the war, in turn proving that they were not, in fact, the weak, feeble stereotypes commonly seen on Arab television, but that they were more of the tough old Jews from the school of Charles Bronson.
So you admit they attacked first and stayed strong and won or whatever, but you're not. I don't know, it's weird. Taking something that should be a negative and you're trying to turn it into a positive. Like, see, they're tough. See how tough they are?
I don't give, like, what? Okay, look. I'm pretty sure there was there was some sort of military coup or false flag
For
Israel. Like they participated in it around the time he's talking about.
Ah, yeah.
Like, I'm not, like, I can't remember exactly, but it was pretty, like, blatant. I'll put it like in the under the description or whatever. Yeah.
You tried to take me out, you punk. Let's dance, you duke.
So yes, in the War of 67, Israel did in fact...
Yes, Crowder, your team is laughing, but they're not really laughing because it's fake laughs because they're fans of you, okay? That's all I'm telling you. That's it. Go ahead.
Gain land while trying to not be wiped off the face of the earth, with much of that land having since been given away in hopes of achieving peace. Instead, this newly acquired land has often been used as a launching pad for rocket fire into Israel's civilian territories. What can you expect from an opposition who believes in the official motto of no recognition, no negotiation, and no peace? Fast forward to today, when leftists, often not understanding the history...
Sounds ridiculous. There's no peace, there's no hope.
That sounds like both sides. And by both sides, I mean the governments. And Palestine doesn't really have a government. Huh?
I don't know about that.
Hamas and Israel.
No peace.
I think Hamas and Israel have that mindset.
I don't know.
I think so.
That's not what I heard.
As far as normal people, yeah, I'm sure that's there.
I'm sure Hamas is like,
we give up.
No, it's like, I didn't do these things. They say I did.
I don't know.
It's like the war's almost over. It's like, see, you did counterattacks. Like, why would I do that? Now, I'm not saying I'm not Team Hamas or anything. You know, he could be corrupt. But at the same time, if it's like, you know, if someone's like, well, I didn't do it, I don't want to do this anymore. It's like, okay. I'm not sure.
I heard Hamas was pretty bad. I don't know.
It's possible.
History of Israel decide to side against the one enclave of human rights found in the Middle East and instead side with nations who can legally beat their women and hang their gays.
Syria? Syria's pretty secular. They voted in Bashar al-Assad.
Oh, my bad.
He was voted in.
My bad. I got mixed up. Assad. Not Hamas.
Oh, okay.
I'm stupid.
Yeah, I heard Hamas is pretty bad.
Yeah, my fault.
Assad's Syria's supposed to is secular, basically.
My fault. Hamas. Even so, yeah, my fault.
Turkey, secular. Jordan, secular.
That's like the only time I ever got them confused. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
All right.
If you're looking for a Sharia law or religious leaders controlling the country, then probably Iran, Saudi Arabia have fucking kings and princes and shit like that.
Who have untold amounts of money.
That behead people and, you know.
Like, we'll let you drive cars now.
Hurt women for driving. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I doubt he'll bring up Saudi Arabia.
No.
Because
the U.S. man.
Because we fund them.
And we make deals.
They're an ally. All right.
I stand with Palestine.
Yeah, boy.
Yes, leftists, disregarding all statistics, logic, or historical context, you should be supporting Israel, if only for the gays. Otherwise, they're here, they're queer, they're dead. At the end of the day, Israel has recognized that Palestinians have a right to a state. On the flip side, Palestinian leaders believe that the state of Israel and Jews have no right to exist, period. And if you support these leaders and their nations...
If they mean Israel, then I don't disagree with them.
Me either.
But I'd say that about a bunch of countries.
Including the U.S.
Yeah. Throw them in
It's
there.
like you're a syndicate.
So do you. What do you think? Comment below. Fact is that there's never been an autonomous Palestinian, Muslim, or Arab state in that small shred of land, and if history has showed us anything, it's that the Jews are likely there to stay. If you can't make peace with that and instead choose to side with the nations trying to commit mass genocide against them...
People would say that from the other side, that the actual Israeli-Palestinian conflict is similar to a genocide.
Yeah.
And they're claiming that Israel's the one that's committing the genocide.
And there's a lot of evidence to support that theory.
When it's just indiscriminate killing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'd have a genocide on your hand.
Bulldozing someone's house while they're in it. Multiple.
Shooting men in wheelchairs with slingshot rocks.
Videotaping it, laughing.
Not rockets, but just rocks.
Snipers.
Yeah.
Mm.
Killing protesters. Mm. Killing I believe it was a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Female nurse or doctor.
Mm.
Yeah, killing her. And it's not like it's, oh shit, you got hit. It's more of, I'm in a sniper scope. I can see
you're aiming, you have
on.
time, like, okay, this guy's in the wheelchair. He won't be needing the wheelchair, buddy.
That rock's too close.
No. The wind blew on my face. Like,
yeah.
No. I saw him blink.
And the video you were talking about, where the guys are like, come on, get this on camera.
Yeah, they recorded it and they laughed. And
that's called being desensitized and likely brainwashed.
What does that tell you? It's not like this. It's not like, oh my god, we didn't know this existed. It's literally like, let's not talk about this. Just tuck it away. That means someone's corrupt.
The guy that got shot, they laid him out in like the pavement or whatever.
Yeah.
They're waiting there for the ambulance to come over.
Yeah.
And the soldier just walks up, shoots him in the head, and walks away.
Yeah.
That guy got in trouble, but I mean, you just slap on the wrist type of thing. You're like, okay, he's dead. Get him out of here.
Matt Hunter.
Why won't the Palestinians embrace multiculturalism? First, they want, safe homes first. And I guess they would look at ideas. Maybe not. They might be so, like I don't trust anybody now. After someone walked into our country, planted their flag, and said, this is ours now, then got support from these giant countries over here, and they shot us away and pushed us back.
And then people's homes are getting...
Shrunk our region little by little.
Yeah, and then people slowly getting pushed out, then people's homes are getting bulldozed.
They're going to be
It's understandable how... It's like, we don't want any part of this.
If peace happened or whatever, they would be looking over their shoulders for generations.
Oh, sure. This has been on for years.
In fact, yeah, it would be bad because they'd just end up passing it on in history books over and over.
Yeah.
Until it took some brave soul to be like, listen, guys.
Matt Hunter, if you want a more detailed explanation, go to Ryan Dawson on YouTube.
Did I hit it? Is it frozen?
Pause.
Fuck you. Alright.
Well, do so at your own risk.
Okay. Got it. Like, this is the creepiest shit ever when he's bragging for Israel. It's like, they're the tough guys.
Fuck this guy.
They're tough. Don't fuck with Israel. They're tough. It's like, people die, Steven Crowder, from bombs and mortars and missiles and all this shit on both sides. There is no time to play tough. We're the toughest ones. Shut the fuck up. Next time you think to say some shit like that, you shut the fuck up. Follow that rule book. Or debate someone who will get you to shut the fuck up. Moving on. Of course, more Steven Crowder. Muslims need a civil war. What?
Explanation. I didn't spell that.
Doesn't matter as long as they have the names. I'll wait for you. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's not the time for that. Okay.
Oh, did I say Diplo?
I was going to say Dipset. Dipset's an argument. Alright.
Our next video, Steven Crowder is going to explain why...
Wait. Occupy New... what?
It's fucking Occupy. Occupy New Paradigm. That isn't how it happened, though. They bought the land Israel was founded on originally. Are you talking biblical?
Biblical history? Oops. Okay, my bad. I'm so sorry.
Let's do that.
Are you talking biblical history?
Occupy.
Occupy. No, we'll call it Occupies this.
We had one, but we forgot. What makes it their land? It shouldn't be anybody's land, technically.
No, it should just be, we live here, and anybody else can...
But
anybody,
But if you're in a scenario where you're falling behind the baby steps, that's when things get dangerous. Right? The baby steps are, well, we live here. They live there, and they live there.
And the other thing is
that
this.
It falls below that to where it's all mine, I'm taking it. Then it's like, okay.
And this too. Like, according to biblical text, you know, like, this is our land. You know? This is our home. I'm like, well, first of all, it's not yours. You know, it's not anybody's. You know? It's just simple.
Well, once again, I understand if they're in their baby steps mode.
I understand. But at the same time, you calling it a Jewish state, that's like, hey, this is a white nationalist Christian state. It's like, hey, that's going to give me some positive feedback from a bunch of groups here. And rightfully so, you know? So, again, if you want a better explanation, especially Occupy it if you think Israel was founded on or whatever. Yeah, I'm not saying I know what you think or not. I'm saying check out James Corbett and Ryan Dawson and type that stuff in. Just saying. Israel. Dawson especially. I would say he might be an expert regarding that.
Yeah. Okay. Our next video from Steven Crowder, Muslims need a civil war.
Okay, this screams something here already. The title?
Yeah.
No, is this a joke? And even if it's a joke, it's like...
Well, you look at the title and you're like, there must be something different going on here, but actually I think it sounds the way the title sounds.
But he's a comedian.
You're just going with that.
He's just a comedian.
Nah.
No, not biblical history, but modern history. Google Jewish land purchase in Palestine. See, now I'm not...
Actually, I do think that happened as far as buying up land, settling there, and it was somewhat peaceful for whatever amount of years.
Allegedly.
And then possibly military takeover at some point in that period.
Yeah.
Or say, okay, there's enough of us here. We want more land. And
possibly.
And they scrap for land, and then the winner dictates what history is. I don't know. Like I said, go to Ryan Dawson's channel.
Especially Ryan Dawson, especially. Yeah. Occupy if you want a better...
Yeah, we're not experts.
No.
But at the same time...
I'm an expert on morality.
Yeah, we're more in the philosophical slant, and this guy screams something. So let's check it out. Muslims need a civil war. And I don't think that's a metaphor.
No.
Did you see how fast in France they'll get killed? The protests over the drawing of Muhammad? How fast? Well, why can't you get that many Muslims in it?
Okay.
Ross will...
Empty content.
If now it is possible for Islam to evolve. You've seen that with some religions, even if they're getting away from the true religion, right? You have some American Muslims who have rejected that. That is true. Is it true Islam? You can argue probably not, and of course, compared with everyone in the Islamic world, no, not.
So, he's already right off the bat. I think he's already considering getting away from Islam is evolving.
Mm-hmm.
But he wouldn't say the same thing about
Christianity.
Correct. Or Judaism.
No.
As you say, if you say Israel did something bad, it's anti-Semitic.
I would agree, Occupy. He is a fool. Maybe I don't know why.
It might even be worse than that.
I don't know why you consider him a fool, but on paper, I would agree with you. 100%.
Yeah.
He's also a tool. All right.
Is it true Islam? You can argue probably not, and of course, compared with everyone in the Islamic world, no, not really.
Actually,
but
leave that.
there needs to be a civil war in Islam, and it can't be done without all these people who claim they are Muslims who have that with some religions, even if they're getting away from the true religion, right? You have some American Muslims who have rejected that. That is true. Is it true Islam? You can argue probably not, and of course, compared with everyone in the Islamic world, no.
So he's taking the typical right-wing argument that Islam is just evil. It is evil. Meaning you can't practice it without partaking in some sort of evil action.
It's ridiculous.
Just like but he wouldn't say the same thing about non-fundamentalist Christians.
Yeah.
Guys are like, I don't go to church every day. I go every so often. He's like, oh, they're still Christians.
Yeah.
But if you're not hacking heads off or stoning your daughter for getting raped or something, it's like, oh, then they're just not Muslim at all. Period. And shouldn't there be degrees of this stuff?
Like, I wonder if there's
crazy people.
I wonder if there's text missing from certain like religious ideologies. You know, it's like, oh, I wonder why that must be, huh? I wonder.
Not really, but there needs to be a civil war in Islam. And it can't be done without all these people who claim they are the silent majority. They need to stand up. And I'm not just saying, again, it's very simplified when people say, well, why don't you condemn the terrorist attacks? And then if a Muslim condemns it, well, then your argument goes away. Talk Islam has yet to condemn the terrorist attacks. 25 tweets on how great Muhammad Ali was, nothing on Orlando at the point of this recording. It's not about condemning it. It is, we need Muslims. Okay, this is what you need to do. We need you to come out, not only condemn it, that's not it. We need you to take up arms, join the militaries in our country or the countries where you live to fight against Islam.
Oh boy.
This is the creeper area. Like, we need you to pick up guns and start shooting these other people.
He doesn't even. He doesn't even know what he's saying.
It's Rachel Maddow saying, it's like, well, you need to bomb Russia to prove that you're not a Russian bot, Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump, you need to prove that you're not a Russian agent. Go ahead and shoot some Russians.
It's ridiculous.
You need to prove it to us. Where are the Western Christians committing acts of global terrorism in the name of Christianity? Maybe not today, but...
We're talking about in history.
Going from continent to continent. They're just spreading their religion. That's all they're doing.
Crusades.
Nothing else going on there.
Crusades?
Nonetheless, I can easily twist the Christian religion and rile people up to go commit crazy acts of violence.
Sure.
It has happened in quiet pockets. It just hasn't happened on a mass scale. They weren't around. The Christians weren't around with that crazy ideology, with a superpower country saying, "We need you to go into Afghanistan and fight the Russians."
Funding them.
We'll find the craziest Christian we can.
Exactly.
Back him with military training and weaponry.
And money.
Have him become a proxy army and fight our enemies.
And you prop them up.
And then later, when those crazy Christians come back and bite us in the ass, 9/11, we start a global war about it. And then one side keeps feeding the other side.
And we make a fantasy enemy that may not even exist.
we bomb ISIS or we bomb a terrorist group, it creates more terrorists. Because we're like, fuck, you just killed my brother. You accidentally killed my daughter. I'm going to join arms and fight against you. Did that answer the question?
It's ignorant people affected by corrupted people. And then they become corrupted, and it goes back and forth and back and forth.
Just look back, I would say look in the history of when has Christianity been backed with military support, and then look at the results of it. I could be wrong, I'm not an expert.
At the same time, though, we're talking about like parts and times in history where a religious religion or ideology was backed by war. Like, we're spreading this.
Yeah, military backed.
There you go. There you go. And I'm positive that has happened. I'm positive.
100%.
All right.
Okay.
Just like people.
Oh, so we didn't even address Crowder's point.
Yeah.
So he's literally saying arm Muslims that aren't the terrorist guys.
Yeah.
Meaning the non-violent Muslims. Let's find the non-violent Muslims.
Or the ones
put
that are,
guns in their hands.
Yeah, the ones that are possibly affected by warlords.
Well, American too.
Yeah.
Right, American Muslims too.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? 3 million of them. Possibly more now. It's like, oh, just give them guns. You guys need to prove that you're not terrorists by going out there and shooting the other terrorists. Congratulations.
By the way, I love
it. You can't just be nonviolent just on your own. You can't just say I'm pro peace.
I love his shirt. Just saying.
We'll get to that. Actually, it's in the.
Just throwing a breadcrumb out there.
So I keep forgetting those things.
What's on his shirt?
What the fuck's the name of the pictures that we put on for the videos? You always tell me. I always forget.
Who's forgetful now?
What is it?
Seems the tides have turned. Bend the knee and apologize.
What is it?
Just like Littlefinger.
What is it?
What, the thumbnail?
There you go. Just look at the thumbnail of this video.
You bend the knee.
And you'll understand his shirt.
Bow. Press the button.
Fuck you.
People petition their representatives to fight against gun control or to fight against Flint tap water. Muslims need to start electing, taking part in the political process, and pushing their representatives to fight against Sharia law, to fight against the abuses of... just like people petition their representatives to fight against gun control or to fight against Flint tap water, Muslims need to start electing, taking part in the political process, and pushing their representatives, petition their representatives to fight against gun control or to fight against Flint tap water.
This is the Stefan Molyneux argument. If we let the immigrants in, they'll start gaining voting power, and then they'll vote us out of existence.
See, they're already morally corrupted.
Yes.
They're two wrongs make a right. That's what they think.
And if that happened to be purely by accident, because their intelligence level on average is actually lower than everyone else, so they'll accidentally take over our country. There won't be a purpose behind it because they're too dumb to do that.
It's understandable why some of them would be disgruntled, and I get why they'd be ignorant too, or some of them even corrupted. But I'm not even like applauding it or justifying it. There's no room for that. But this guy's like automatically. They want them out. It's like, dude, you're... Christ, man. Is this guy a pusher?
Continuing.
Muslims need to start electing, taking part in the political process, and pushing their representatives to fight against Sharia law, to fight against the abuses of women and children that take place right here on our own soil.
In the U.S.? Really? Let's see. There's 3 million Muslims. Allegedly. Where are all these incidents at? Is it scattered? Does it, fit into the rest of America's demographics?
It's in Yonkers, probably. That's where it all goes down.
You're talking about prisons where guys convert to Islam. Do they count as Muslims killing people?
I know they get counted as a certain... for votes and shit.
He's like some mass murderer, just a normal guy.
Yeah.
On his deathbed at 80 years old, he's like, I'm Muslim now. Count him. All those deaths, count him.
No, it's like, Mike, goodbye, Dad. Jimmy, hold the camera. I'm Muslim. I vote for him. See? Count it. It's like, fuck, man. Fuck. They use him like a puppet.
Alright, but let's be honest, I hear more about school shootings than I do about Muslims.
Way more, yeah.
Than I do hear about Muslims, whatever, murdering their own daughters and whatever the fuck you just said.
They need to publicly reject and actively fight against any sect that tries to implement Sharia law. They need to publicly reject.
Man, look at that darky.
It's okay because you say it. He looks like a Caucasian.
Maybe he's like Canelo Alvarez.
Ah.
Like he looks like it. I didn't really look that Irish.
Or maybe he got the Michael Jackson thing.
Yeah, that's very possible too.
Very possible.
So this Middle Eastern born Muslim man, it's a Sharia controlled zone.
Beer game is weak, by the way. Just saying.
Look at those buildings. That looks like Afghanistan, doesn't it? With that, see that Volkswagen right there?
Well, it could be. I don't know.
That's a typical car.
It doesn't look like it. Yeah.
In the armpit of the world, Syria, right? As Steven Crowder says.
You don't know.
Onward.
And actively fight against any government that has death for apostasy. Well, what does that do? That means Muslims, it's on you now to fight Egypt, to fight Turkey, to fight Iran, to fight Iraq, to fight Hamas. Oh, that's...
Egypt. Let's see. Egypt, secular. Turkey, secular. What else did you say? Did you say Jordan?
Publicly reject and actively fight against any government that has death for apostasy. Well, what does that do? That means Muslims, it's on you now to fight Egypt, to
Egypt,
secular.
Fight Turkey,
Turkey,
secular.
To fight Iran, to fight
Iran.
Iran's pretty religious, but they had a democratic vote for a guy, I believe in like the 40s or something, and we ousted him. The U.S. helped ousted him, and then then a revolution happened, and then your religious leader popped up, so we can take some credit in that.
And the U.S. has a lot of history of meddling with other countries' politics, politicians.
Yeah.
And I can pull up evidence for that too.
Fight Iraq.
Iraq was dictatorship, but we installed him in there.
Yeah, and he didn't want to leave. And then allegedly we all, I could find evidence for this as well, offered him something, he wouldn't take it, then we wanted him out. We took him out.
On a false premise, we took him out.
And then we propped up a new leader who's corrupt.
To fight Hamas.
Hamas,
once again, a reaction to people being kicked out of their homes. And they might not, they were probably welcomed at first and hated as time went on. Yeah. It's like, fuck, now we have two dictators. We have Hamas and we have Israel, like, breathing down our necks. Possibly. I don't know.
Oh, that's on you. If you really have a problem with it, we need to see, listen, bloodiest war in American history was to free the slaves, right? Because people had to say this is wrong within our own ranks.
It was to free the slaves. That was the purpose. It wasn't like that's just a vibe.
There's a bunch of people that makes an argument that it's not. It wasn't for freeing the slaves. I might be one of them.
I'm being sarcastic here.
Yeah, I know. I'm agreeing with you.
Yell at me.
Go ahead. Finish your point.
No, I'm done. I don't want to say any more.
Okay.
That needs to happen with Islam.
Well, there's a difference, right? A Middle Eastern country didn't come over here and plant, like, you're slaves, we're throwing this on you. It's your responsibility now.
Yeah.
And then they eventually have some human rights issue and they fight about it, right? But what we did was we went over there and sort of interfered with how the world was working in that area.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically self-provoking, right?
Yeah, it's like this. Hey.
We create a proxy army to fight the Russians. Then they fuck up the Russians to some degree. And then this radical group fires back at the U.S. And now we got to go fire back at them. And then they got to fire back at us. And then, yeah.
So basically it's this.
But no, Muslims should go clean up the areas after we bomb them.
Yo, dude. Why? See this? Yeah. Go beat them up with this. Here you go. All right. 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
Privateer?
Except they found the craziest people they could find.
Privateer. The corporate pirates. Alright. I see. Wicked America has exploited the Islamic world and therefore bear most of the more moral blame for the rise of Islamic terror.
No, not saying that at all.
Matt Hunter, why do you gotta jump to new conclusions?
There's just a difference between if, okay, you have 3 houses, the one in the middle.
Yeah.
I come over and bomb the shit out of this middle house. And then I don't know, it's a bad metaphor. I don't know.
Just change it.
There's a problem with starting shit in another country, bombing the shit out of this other country, leaving, and then telling other people who had nothing to do with it, clean it up.
Yeah. Not only that, you're the reason for bombing it in the first place, you know?
Well, it's almost completely their fault. First they propped up the proxy army,
Yeah.
which became Al-Qaeda.
Mm-hmm.
And then the continuous bombing creates more of these guys. Maybe not Al-Qaeda necessarily, but terrorist factions and groups. It creates more of them.
Yeah.
Because they're not they're not shooting bombs that only aim at enemy targets.
Yeah.
Right? Bombs blow up areas. And in these areas are normal fucking people.
Innocent people.
These normal innocent people have families. When they find out their brother's been blown up,
They're gonna get
they're gonna get pissed off.
They're gonna get pissed off, and some of the people, which are innocent people, will most likely are neutral and ignorant, and they might think, well, fuck, man, how are we supposed to protect ourselves? And then what are they gonna do? They might retaliate because they're ignorant, and then they got blood on their hands, and it keeps happening back and forth on both sides. So it's not wicked America; it's corrupt assholes.
It's sort of like, Southern slave owners getting normal people in the South to fight for their cause, almost manipulating them to fight for their cause. Even though the war, they'll be the soldiers, the small guy will be the soldiers that get their legs blown off and all this shit, and they die. But the higher up guys' interests will be the ones that they're actually fighting for, without realizing.
So let me make this clear again.
You're like, listen, the North is coming for you. They're coming for all you.
It's on both sides, ignorance and corruption on both sides.
And Muslims are benighted victims of poverty. America made them victims of poverty in the first place. America therefore bears blood guilt for the sins of Islam, but Islam bears none of its own. Not saying that. Not saying they're not responsible either. I'm just saying.
What did I just say?
Just saying.
What did I just say?
The tick and the tock and the tick and it's one thing leading to another. Then you have already conditioned, ignorant people. Like if a family member dies from some bomb and your first reaction is, I need revenge, you're probably conditioned to something, you're ignorant or whatever.
Yeah. There's a form of corruption there already.
You can end up being a slave to your own hatred or anger.
Sure. And then,
or vengeance.
And then, right, when someone comes along, it's like a group that is most likely being supported and propped up by some other country. And then, hey, look, you take part. Now look at that.
Yeah.
It's it's very easy to understand how this can happen.
For sure.
So it's not a Matt Hunter, I'll say it again. On both sides. On both sides, it's a huge thing of ignorance, ignorant people and corrupted people. And it goes back and forth and back and forth. And it happens. This has probably been happening For a long time. A long, long, long time. Probably more than 1,000 years.
To me, it just makes sense. If your culture is oriented towards, let's say your culture is heavily oriented towards family, like super heavy oriented towards family, and a family member dies from someone else's malicious action.
Yeah.
Shit's gonna happen.
It can.
Now, when you bring God into it, it's just really likely to happen.
It can.
It's most likely gonna.
Yeah.
I say there's a good chance it could happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So this is false equivalence here between slavery and the Middle Eastern wars.
Yep.
They need some skin in the game. It's not just about saying, well, you condemn this terrorist attack. No. There needs to be a systemic approach from Muslims to petition, to protest, to politically and violently actively fight this small contingency of Islamic cancer spreading across the world.
Oh my God, he's advocating for violence.
Yeah.
Like, now it's out in the open, straight up. Civil war, like, well, maybe, like, poor choice of words, but maybe he's being, like, figuratively, you know, saying civil war. I don't really mean civil war, I mean, like, they need to stand up for themselves, you know? No, he's calling for protest and violence. He's basically calling for mobs, angry mobs. Like, you fool, what are you doing?
He's calling for moderate rebels in Syria. That's what he's arguing for right now. It's like, moderate rebels, aka Al-Qaeda. Now when you're distracted with them, now we can't fight ISIS. We're stopping Russia and Syria from fighting ISIS.
And of course he's...
Not that I support that either, but I'm just saying.
I don't support
if
anybody.
If your goal is to end terrorist activity, you can't do it by propping them up.
No. I don't support anybody that partakes in tyranny. And especially these images he's using. It should be very telling. Look at the images. It's not a joke. It's not like a thumbnail.
Yeah.
You know, even though they can be telling, thumbnails. Islam will dominate the world. I wonder where you dug deep for that one, you know? It's not like that's self-serving, your theory.
Demotix.com.
Whatever.
I might look that up at some point.
Need them to do that, otherwise it has to be nukes.
Yeah, absolutely, but here's the problem. They won't, because the moment that they start fighting against their own people, they become outside of that protected group. They become infidels. They become apostates. And therefore, they can be killed by everybody else. So it's very...
See, they make it sound like it's all of them.
It's very vague.
I'll remind you again, there's 3 million Muslims in America.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they have family overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not all of them.
No, I know. I have like a friend. So,
that's just what they do.
It's insane, man. I know. I have a friend who is completely normal, nice guy. You know? No, James, he's a sleeper cell.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But that's war.
No, I agree. This is what they should do, but I'm telling you why they won't. Right. Even people that are in that kind of camp and say, yeah, you're absolutely right. We have to stop these people that are taking over our religion, like they said.
Don't worry, that's just war. That's what war is.
They have no idea what they're talking about. You know, I'm not an expert on like I don't have like political prowess or anything like that. But as far as morality, you know, like philosophical stuff, like these guys are idiots. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I would scream this. They're calling for people dying. Ignorant, silly people, including themselves. Hey guys, go do this. Go rise up and go create a muck and shit. Fucking kill people and burn. Like what? What?
Yeah.
Like this isn't a joke.
Oh, by the way, these countries that he thinks are just
armpits.
That he thinks are just theocracies.
Yeah.
Like, no, a lot of them are secular, and they actually have militaries that fight people. Syria fights ISIS. That's a military thing. That's a country defending itself.
You know, I remember hearing
Turkey.
how ISIS was like allegedly like dwindling away, and somehow from some source it's like Oh, someone got funded and now they're back.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're not gone. Here you go.
But
Someone funded them.
these countries are actual countries. They have militaries. What you're asking for is normal citizens to grab guns and start shooting ISIS.
This guy's an idiot, man.
Like, Syria would have been done with ISIS if it wasn't for us holding up the moderate rebels in Syria.
Any person that justifies like this sort of tyranny.
Yeah. If there isn't for U.S. backing with that, they're having the same amount of trouble that we have.
Like right now, currently, this guy should not speak for anyone.
No.
Anybody.
No.
Even I don't know. Like, hey man, I'm not saying you can't speak for yourself, but
are you speaking for yourself?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the other thing I was gonna get at. Like, dude, are you like? Is this what you really think, or are you being paid to say shit like this? You know?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Show.
No. I want to use a different word. It's something where you're
gonna insult me?
You're insulting yourself, Crowder. It's called what? You're put there. An opposition.
Oh, controlled opposition.
Controlled opposition.
Right? I think so.
It's very possible he is, you know? Or he's incredibly ignorant. And I'd argue it's both ignorance and corruption because there's some sort of corruption that goes on where the point where it's like, grab arms and start shooting people. It's like, what?
I think he's...
What?
I think he's just a little bit further to the right, George Bush. And
They
Did you
won't
see
do it
how
because
fast
who argues against college kids.
in France
they'll get killed.
the protests over the drawing of Muhammad? How fast? Well, why can't you get that many Muslims in a town square? Why can't you get that many to come together fighting against a terrorist attack? You can
One is a peaceful protest, right? They're holding fucking signs and shit. Do you want them to stand outside of ISIS headquarters with just signs like, hey, don't stop doing this, guys? Those guys killed as much Muslims as they kill anybody else, right? They're in those countries.
Yeah.
They're fighting against any secular power because they want there to be a Islamic state.
Yeah.
Straight up. That's just like there's a Jewish state. They
Yeah.
want an Islamic state. Yeah. And for some reason, we painted them as they're the true followers of the Muslim religion.
They follow it to a T. It's like, what? How do you know? You know?
Yeah.
So who deserves more the moral blame, America or the Islamic world? It's ignorant people.
Yeah.
So it's both, Matt Hunter. It's both. It's the same thing.
It's not even really both. It's certain individuals in both, I would say.
I would. That's a better answer. Yeah. Who's at more fault? It's like, dude, anybody who does this shit's at fault. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not. Well, I'm not saying you're saying this, Matt Hunter. It's like,
Groups.
well, they're worse. It's like, there's no. Well, he hit him in the head 5 times. I only did it twice. It's like, what? You still punched him.
Yeah.
Go in timeout now.
There is no.
I'm not saying you're saying that, Matt Hunter. I'm just trying to.
Neither have a moral high ground.
No, not even the slightest. You can't even.
Yeah.
Not even. All right.
get them to come together and fill the town freaking square.
Oh, yeah. So as you're saying, right, one's a protest, peaceful protest. I don't see any AKs being held in their hands.
No.
They're just pissed off that you fuck with their religious guy.
From what I see.
Yeah. So what if these people here, they want to yell and scream to get things to change, as opposed to I'm going to shoot my way into things changing? What if they're more of the peaceful type? What if that peaceful way is because of what they believe religiously? Then it would make sense that they're not showing up to shoot down ISIS. Also, they might belong to countries with a secular government that might actually have an army, which means they do have Muslims fighting these whatever super religious guys.
They're not true. They're not true Muslims.
Yes, the true Muslims are on ISIS.
Oh,
Those are the true Muslims. That's the highest form of
course.
Islam, don't you know?
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Dipset.
This is gold. It feels like people should be watching this as we're just every single one of his arguments. You're just like, nope, nope.
No, it's real. It's basically, oh.
People are gonna look at us for like an hour. Let me find a 5-minute video.
My attention span, I just can't take it.
The game's on in 5 minutes.
Let me go watch.
Not that we're
Let me
important.
go watch. Let me go look at Instagram models instead.
That's you.
No. No.
JK.
No.
Alright, continuing.
You'll pay for that.
Because someone drew Muhammad, which we'll do later on. Bob Ross will be in, and we'll do a live instructional on drawing Muhammad. But you can't fill the B ballroom at the Hyatt with enough Muslims for a terrorist attack.
Well, no, what do you mean for a terrorist attack? Do you mean like people pissed off that a terrorist attack happened? I'm sure there's plenty of those, but they stay out of the fucking area where a bomb just went off. I'm sure there's a shitload of people against that shit.
See, I could do what he's doing right now.
But if you ask them to grab fucking weapons and shit and say, go chase down ISIS, like, I don't think a lot of people are going to sign up
I
for
could
that.
twist this shit right around just like what he's doing. Hey, we'll do something about it. It's like, are you serious? Are you kidding me? Dude, this guy is something else, man.
He's gold. He's golden. He's the golden child. He is.
Man,
Let's be real here. One should be more outrageous than the other. And it's not just condemning a terror attack. They need to do what Americans and anyone else in Western civilization does to fight against radical Islam.
there is a...
Yes, they need to start a country and have an army for it to fight off invaders. Oh wait, they do have that, don't they? Unless you mean they should all do it, the entire country should, because in that case, then we would have to as well. When America goes to war, that means we suit up and go to war, every single one of us.
So my government's decisions, no matter how wrong they could be, dictate what I'm going to do.
Yes.
Time to go fight Syria.
Also, Syria has no army; it's just citizens there.
Oh.
There is no army, so the citizens have to get up and grab the guns and go. Egypt, there's no army.
See, look.
You think there's an army?
Yeah.
No, it's just citizens.
I
there.
got you. There's a reason why this guy debates with a specific group of people.
A specific type of way.
Yeah.
If you bring up a point, he might ignore it. Unless he has it written down in his binder. Like, I have an argument for that one. This one, let's...
And he sells them.
Joke. And then let's keep going.
He debates with within his circle.
Yeah.
And college kids. It's not an insult to college kids, but most likely it's a bunch of his fans who are also ignorant. That's what he does. And he's like... And you see compilations of... Best times where Steven Crowder is a savage. Top 10. It's like, who... Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you for real? Like, this isn't like top 10 hits of Derek Jeter's career. No. This is someone this is like
A guy
this
talking
isn't-
about death and violence.
Yes.
In a cheesy, comical way.
Just, they need to do that. They're citizens of the United States. You need to do these things. And I don't hear anyone else talking about that. It's not just saying condemn the terrorist attacks. What I am saying is we cannot do this without, if there are as many moderate Muslims as they claim to have out there, we need them to do it. They need to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And to go biblical kind of on you, you judge a tree by its fruit. Sorry, guys, we appreciate your words and you're sorry for all the things that have happened here, but your fruit is telling us that you stand for it because you're not doing anything to stop it. And in a lot of cases, you're promoting it, especially as organizations and leaders around the world.
Yeah.
They're high-fiving each other on their back saying, all right, good, we're striking a blow at the enemy. And they look at...
Really?
really quick. Jimmy Dore tweeted, Congress is owned by war profiteers, which is why Obama took 2 Bush wars and made them into 7 wars, and why we have over 800 military bases in every corner of the globe, and why we are in Yemen and bombing in 8 different countries that we know of. There is no anti-war party in the U.S. Well, if that doesn't speak, volumes.
Yeah. What's this? Nah, I'll get to that later. So, yeah. Weak.
He's a candy wrapper, man. That's what he is.
All right, continue. You're saying they're like, yeah, just quietly behind everyone's back, they're high-fiving and stuff. Like, what?
It's like, you see how the facts and the theories become easily distorted and become more of a, well, you're fat and they all hate us. It's like, what? Versus, they invaded at this date, at this time, for this specific reason. It's like, actually, this happened. And then it becomes like insults and jabs and like shit that they don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, they secretly hate us and they're high. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm not quoting, I'm just saying, this is what it sounds like. Look at his videos, I'm not kidding.
I think Rogan smokes twice as much weed when he knows this guy is coming on his show. He's like, I need to make this funny.
I honestly don't understand how he didn't just go, like, who is this guy? Really? I don't know. Whatever.
They go, oh, those freedoms that we hate that you have, guess what? Your politicians are now coming out and saying we need to get rid of the Second Amendment, or we need to get rid of these guns, we need to restrict freedom, we need to restrict freedom of speech.
Bring in Syrian refugees, let men into the little girl's room, and disarm all women. What could possibly go wrong? Hey!
It's a joke, guys. It's a joke.
We weren't helping in the destruction of Syria. No, they're just leaving because they know we're better. That's why they're leaving.
That's enough of this.
Come on, man. There's more topics.
That's the sad thing. There's a shit ton of this.
So, our next video.
This guy's like that Looney Tune character you just don't like.
The fuck?
Yeah, I know what the fuck that was.
Oh, I stepped on the fucking power cord. Fuck me. Oh, I didn't blow out the fucking thing.
No, you're good. You're good.
I don't want to move this shit. Because I stepped on it twice already. It's a good thing. Alright, so. Fuck, what was I going to say? Next video with Steven Crowder. Oh, I was going to say, we should have Matt Hunter do like timestamps and shit. Because
Matt Hunter would say, when these guys get this wrong, 2 minutes. When James and Jordan don't propose an argument at 1 hour and 14 minutes.
At 1 hour and 13 minutes, the white guy says this.
The what? I haven't named Matt Hunter.
It's James. Okay, so this is Steven Crowder with War Helps a Lot.
Featuring John Lennon. He's dead.
Yeah. He's a lefty liberal.
War! Good God, y'all! What's it good for? Actually, a lot. But what about giving peace a chance? All right, we've all heard the slogan.
You can hear the,
feminine, stereotypical gay accent.
He's making fun of gay people there.
Yeah.
Like, if you're against war, you're like soft and feminine and gay.
Give peace a chance.
As Drake would say, somebody's gonna punch you in the fucking face.
And then Common's like, who's gonna punch who? You soft man. Be yourself, man. Everyone wants to forget that one, right? Whatever. Like, you didn't respond to that one, did you, Drake? No.
It wasn't strategically opportunistic.
That's like that. That's that Mike Tyson. Overhand right, then like a leaping left hook. It's like a rematch. We'll let you know. Manager's like, fuck that. Fuck this. All right.
Continuing.
We've seen the signs and we've all heard the crappy, overly hyped songs. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. The funny thing about all of these anti-war war celebrities is that they don't see the irony in getting to spout their message of wanting peace only because there are American GIs fighting overseas against the very people who don't.
I have lost some brain cells.
I think we said this a million times already about the overseas, specifically the Middle East. So.
Imagine all the people living life in peace. Yeah.
Oh my God, John Lennon, can I have an autograph?
Security! But peace is a two-way street. And what if the other guy doesn't want peace? What if he's more keen on blowing crap up? What then, Mr. Lennon?
The other guy keen on blowing, so that's like that's in the Quran or something, right?
Yes, page 1.
Yeah, it's like put on suicide vests, even though these weren't in existence back then. It says put on suicide vests and you just go to a populated area, blow yourself up.
It's not like it's possible that anybody doctored
because there were bombs back
right?
then. Huh?
It's not like anybody doctored or anything at any given time in history.
No way.
Right? Never.
It's not like people over time changed the meaning of certain passages and words. That never happened either.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
it's not like certain books are hidden, right?
It's not like someone was, some warlord desperate for soldiers. He wouldn't just manipulate random people.
Oh, absolutely not.
Say, hey, this really means this. And these guys are, they're perps, man. They're perpetrating against our way of life.
Or we can live in a bubble world like him.
Yeah.
You think I'll have sideburns like that and I'll be happy? Happy? Alright, keep going.
Okay, now I know what some of you are thinking, but Stephen, peace is still a noble idea. And what have we got against the great John Lennon? Okay, A, he was an egomaniacal pipsqueak who was possibly the biggest hypocrite to have ever walked the face of the planet. Imagine no possession like my Rolls Royce in Upper West Side penthouse. He also cheated on his wife repeatedly and abused his son. And I don't like that. And
Pause it. What the fuck does this have to do with war?
Nothing. Nothing.
What does John Lennon have to do with war?
I guess he was anti-war guy.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant war helps a lot. Look at John Lennon. I'm like, what the fuck does he have to do with it? Okay?
Nothing.
I don't need to. I'm not saying his life wasn't important. All lives are important. But the thing is, right? If you're trying to prove a point to me why war helps, don't bring up how shitty of a human being allegedly John Lennon was. Okay? I don't that has nothing to do with the point.
I agree.
He wasn't perfect.
I agree with you.
Wow.
to B, the ultimate goal of the peace movement is to destroy the idea of right and wrong.
That's full of shit.
The fuck?
That's fucking full of shit. The whole idea of the peace movement was because there was a war movement. When you see your country marching off to war that you don't agree with.
Yeah, and there's a draft, by the way.
Huh?
And there's a draft. You have you're going to war. There's no choice. And then people have get wind of, well, why the fuck are we going? This is stupid. I'm not saying there wasn't some pretenders out there, because what happened to them, the next war, where were they?
Yeah.
I don't know. As far as a mass movement, but at the same time, he's fucking wrong.
Saying you're for peace is not a moral stance. Of course it is, in the context of, especially John Lennon's era. John Lennon's era, where it was like the Vietnam War and shit. You actually had a target to disseminate good versus bad in their minds.
Yeah.
But also, we've basically always been at war.
Let's see. World War One, II, Korean War, Persian Gulf. I'm probably forgetting a bunch of them too. Vietnam.
Gulf War II. We're back in action.
Back in action, starring Mel Gibson.
And it's,
Afghanistan, yeah, Yemen, Syria,
Libya,
and also
Somalia.
then there's a war by proxy.
Yeah,
it's like we're not gonna fight, but we're gonna fund you. It's like this guy.
So there is a standard of good and bad here.
Yeah,
it's just they see war and they're against it. That's the moral stance.
Oh, people getting shot and blown into pieces. Yeah.
I feel like I should be using like baby blocks here. Like, see, they're saying war is bad and peace is good. See how there's the good and bad there?
Keep playing.
Which is, of course, the reason that the anti-Christian
pause it. That's right, Panama. I forgot. They took the canal. It's ours.
Those Rough Riders, man.
Yeah, fuck them. Everyone wants to remember that guy. Like, dude, that guy invaded someone, took their shit. Fuck that guy. Okay? Yeah, seriously. Fuck him.
Don't forget about...
he's naming shit. Look at that.
Don't forget about the Cold War.
Cold War.
Even though it wasn't a warm war.
Oh, the war on drugs. Huh? Remember that one?
War on drugs. Wars and wars and wars.
There's a war on how large of a bottle of soda you can buy.
They're just saying, go peace for no reason.
Oh, my bad. And I'm forgetting a lot of
the little wars.
Well, this is what I mean.
The little conflicts.
The meddling in other. Oh my God, Matt Hunter. Let me finish my sentence. The U.S. and corporations allegedly meddling in a lot of other governments' elections, political-esque type of things, you know.
Yeah.
Panama's one of them. Ecuador. You know. Matt Hunter, if every Muslim suddenly disappeared from the planet, 98% of the global wars conflicts would suddenly be resolved. Dude, that better be a joke, because if not, dude, you're incredibly ignorant.
Well, what was happening before the Islamic wars? What was happening before that?
Yeah, exactly. There was 2 world wars. There was the Korean War. I forgot about. Yeah, did I say that? Korean War. Yeah. And there's wars before that. You know. Huh. Vietnam. I'm talking like Vietnam too. Yeah. I'm just saying.
And those are Vietnam is massive.
Massive. Yeah.
World War I, World War II, massive.
Matt Hunter, I seriously hope you thought that through.
Okay.
I like him. I'm just saying. You know. Come on, dude.
Let's continue.
It's ridiculous.
The movement's inception. Believe it or not, the whole Christians and Jews are the cause of all wars card wasn't introduced by Bill Maher or John Lennon, but by Nero in 54 AD.
Christians and Jews were the cause of all wars? Who said that?
I don't know.
Did he just like set up... Fuck, I almost said it.
What?
Did he like set up a straw man?
A straw
to where he, like, no one's arguing about Christians
Occupy.
and Jews causing things. It's about governments with massive amounts of power
and
military
corrupt
power to do
people
things.
And ignorant people.
Russo-Japanese
Matt
war.
Hunter.
So name some current global wars and conflicts that don't involve Muslims. But we knocked down like the first 20 dominoes in this whole shit going on.
Well, what did Occupy say?
Russo-Japanese war? I have no idea. Maybe it means Russian-Japanese? I don't know.
All right. Yeah.
I'm
So
too
name some
ignorant on
current
the
global wars that conflicts that don't involve Muslims.
Right now?
Right now.
They're like the biggest story right now. But
Right now, yeah.
do you mean like even like Civil War type things?
I guess so.
Like Venezuela and shit like that.
But you see, dude, if we go 9 for 10, you see, but since we didn't get 10 out of 10, that means we lost.
How many giant wars would there be without America there? You could just say that, say the same fucking thing.
Is it a growth? Yeah.
That's a poor argument. We're in all of them. Muslims don't go down to Vietnam or World War One or World War
Korea.
II, or the Korean War, or
Or both
Vietnam.
world wars. World wars. You know? Not only that.
We're the common thread through all of that, so.
And there's this too.
It's a poor argument.
And there's evidence out there to support the theory that the U.S. has definitely, the government has interfered with other countries.
Oh, for sure.
With their political
for
realms.
Sure. We set up, guys, where we need
coups, military coups.
Where we need strongholds.
These leaders suddenly die, or they get taken out, or
heavily in South America,
or they agree to some sort of agreement with corporations, companies, etc., etc.
So you got covert wars going on too, throughout history. I don't know. I'm continuing onward.
You mean I'm not as original as I thought I was? Now, see, Nero was an awful person.
Yeah, neither are you, Crowder. Not really.
No, he sounds like you said, he sounds like the same typical Republican talking points. You're just younger.
Yeah, there's Dennis Miller. He's out there.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys.
This guy's just younger, just like the Candace Owens girl, right? That's her name? Yeah.
Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, you're just saying the same things over that the old generations were saying.
Yeah.
Just, ooh, I'm wearing a nice blazer.
Yeah, and you're wearing a nice blazer.
I'm wearing a blazer with a t-shirt on.
And you're like 50.
See, I'm young.
You're like 50 years younger, too. You know?
All right.
Person who was on the constant lookout for scapegoats. And you guessed it, he chose the Christians. Now, he did awful things to them. Most notably, he crucified the Apostle Peter on an upside-down cross in the shape of a V.
Is that historically accurate?
I'm not sure.
Or is that just biblically accurate?
Not sure. Matt Hunter, Muslims invaded and conquered the Judeo-Christian lands in the Middle East and North Africa. Why haven't you mentioned that?
Why didn't we mention that? I thought the question was, what have we got? Okay. Get rid of that one, too. Now look at America's rap sheet. What was the Jimmy Dore tweet you just read? How many bases do we have all over the world?
It's safe to say that anywhere America has gone, there's a base there. There's a base in Germany.
It's just a non-argument, Matt.
Japan. Keep going. Vietnam still.
You could say any group you want to. There's always a large footprint of some sort of carnage from whatever group. Which is why we don't like to judge things by groups.
Like you're doing.
Or by individuals. Or not. I don't know. Alright.
If I say the U.S. government, right, I'm talking about a very specific group of people, you know, throughout time.
It's like names named.
Yeah.
We may not have all the historical names, but we're sure that the names are named. As opposed to America.
Yeah, America did it. It's like, what? I'm talking about the government.
Yeah, most of the
world.
United
States government and the military.
I don't think most of the world hates America. I think they actually hate the government or the actions of the government and military.
Sure, there's just like in other countries in the world, in the Middle East. You know, am I angry at this little kid, or am I angry at the corrupt leaders?
Yeah.
I'm angry at them.
Continue.
All right, hold on. When you go down, Matt Hunter, when you go down into history's dark basement of atrocity, you shine your light directly upon America, European section, completely and deliberately ignoring all other sections. As if, dude, are you like listening to what the fuck I'm saying? We're talking about a specific subject. Did I not say Crusades? Like, I don't understand. You know?
Yeah.
What's going on? What was it? Arthur, right?
What? Oh.
Alexander, my bad.
Yeah.
Alexander the Great, right? Conqueror.
Egypt enslaving people.
I don't understand, you know? Dude, tyranny is tyranny. Atrocity is horrible, no matter who or what.
The Young Turks.
I don't understand, man. I don't get it.
Yeah, we basically been talking about.
Are you like
everything.
not hearing what I'm saying, dude?
I'm thinking Matt thinks that we're particularly slanted towards the typical, America is bad or whatever. Everyone else is okay. It's just America
that's not true. That's not true at all.
Yeah. Sorry, that's not true.
It ain't. I mean, look.
Use that with
We
Rachel Maddow.
We can name a
something.
bunch of other places, man. That's fucked up. I'm sure Japan ain't doing good shit either. I'm sure Germany ain't too hot either. I'm sure fucking England, right? That must be like a nice cakewalk, right?
Canada.
Canada as well. I could keep going.
The thing is, and the point is, well, first of all, he's talking about Muslim. He's talking about Muslims, but he's talking about modern time.
Yeah.
And who's at the top of the heap? America is, as far as militarily, their actions in the world. They do something, other countries follow in behind them. It's not like everyone.
You could also say,
other than maybe Israel. Israel seems.
What I'm saying is, you could also say
shit.
you could say it's also like an America and England, possibly.
I think it's America at the forefront, and everyone else is just following behind them.
As far as what
but you're our ally.
As far as what we can see,
I think. But yeah,
I didn't.
British Empire was there too.
Yeah, I don't understand what's the. There's no twisting. I hope there's no. You're not trying to twist this, dude. I'm not trying to say that you are, but You said current things. And I try to say current things. It's like you're purposely like not looking at this. Dude, what the fuck?
Continuing.
Present this atrocity was known as the sign of the broken Christians, or Nero's cross, or as we know it today, the peace symbol. Yes, folks, the peace symbol has a long and rich anti-Christian history, having been used by the Bolsheviks painting it on the churches they'd successfully managed to close, all the way to Hitler's SS brigades.
So you're telling me symbols can't have only one... Oh, symbols aren't neutral. Symbols themselves can only have one meaning throughout history and time. Just like the swastika, right, was taken from something else beforehand, right? Which represents probably something... I mean, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was a Buddhist symbol that represents something completely... I could be butchering this,
I think it might have been Indian.
Might have been.
Either way, it's like, okay, baby born, you put a peace sign in front of him, you're like, oh, that's that Christian thing. Peter hung upside down. He was crucified upside down. Yeah. The baby doesn't just see it as that.
No.
It's a symbol. It's what we make.
Who's to say that someone... I'm not arguing the history with them, I'm talking about, like, the intent. Like, who's to say, like, someone saw that symbol and it's like, you know what? I'm going to take that. I'm going to put this meaning on it now. Yeah. Even so, this guy's arguments are poor.
Yeah.
And that makes war okay? Look, I'm not arguing like, oh, the peace movement was pseudo. Like, just wait. I'm not like he's basically like, oh, John Lennon's an asshole in the peace movement. I'm telling you, like, I'm not saying that they weren't like a pseudo like peace and love, dude. Like all positivity here, because that's a bunch of bull anyway. All positivity here, no negativity here. Mm-hmm. Because like, where were they when the next shit happened?
Yeah.
Or at least the mass group of people. It was like a fad. Okay, that should never be a fad. That should be a constant. Like, you're always ready.
Yeah. All right.
What happened to this guy, man?
Now, see, the problem with the liberal secularists' ideal of peace is that it only exists in a world where right and wrong don't.
You already explained this, why you're wrong about that.
Yeah.
They're making the claim that the peace is the good choice against the bad, which is war. Fuck.
Once you blur those lines enough, everything becomes subjective. You could just as easily blame the attacks of...
They're saying war is bad and peace is good. Does that make sense to you?
9/11 on the United States, as you would on the Taliban. There's no villain or a good guy or bad guy, because that's just simple-minded.
What is with this guy?
So, when whoever does 9/11, say, okay, we can recognize that as bad. Okay, now we're gonna fly drones over your country, and they're just gonna blow up shit too. It's like, why can't you call both of those bad things? Why can't you say neither one is a good guy? Zero moral understanding. Probably clutches his Bible at night and sticks with that.
And I would argue
and
that
it's probably not even the Bible. It's probably this whatever person's interpretation of the Bible.
And let me be clear with this too. I believe like people who have an actual better relationship with that would completely 100% disagree with everything this guy's saying regarding morality. It's those people. I would argue like, hey man, their morals.
He can't make a moral argument.
No, he can't.
Straight up. He should
Steven Crowder is evil. I would say he is neutral and he's ignorant. Maybe corrupted, I don't know. But I would 100% say he's ignorant.
Nah.
Not evil. Now the shit he's saying, as far as go fight. And that shit happens, that's evil.
They need to pick up arms and
shoot.
Go fight.
Yeah, that's like an evil act itself, as far as go kill people, go fight. Go cause death and destruction and terror and tyranny. That's evil. It's empty.
We'll define evil at some later date. Because when someone says evil, it probably has all these different connotations that we might not mean. Whatever. Continuing.
Yep.
He said it again, evil.
It was just a sad inability for two parties.
Evil is lemons.
Give peace a chance.
You do realize you end up getting shot, right?
What? I don't want to get shot. What do you think? Is the modern idea of peace a noble one? How about war? Is it ever the answer? Does violence ever solve problems? Let me know. I would argue that violence is oftentimes the answer. Violence stopped Nazi Germany, ended Stalin's reign, liberated a country, freed the slaves, took out Saddam Hussein, and manages to fix every remote control I've ever owned.
It also probably created all those scenarios in the first place. That's not saying much.
Occupy. He has that platform. People listen to what he says and believe it. He is evil. Again, we might have different definitions of evil, but again, I would say he isn't evil. He's just an ignorant guy. Ignorant.
He's a Dumas.
Matt Hunter. Crowder is correct. Leftism teaches morality is relative.
That I probably agree with, because they're afraid to make choices because it'll come off sounding religious.
Most likely.
But you can't kill. Like, you should just feel it, that it's not right to kill. It's like, feel? What are you talking about? Are you saying there's some sort of supernatural thing at force here? What's going on here? There's something else at work here. You're saying God exists?
Yeah.
How will I step over this homeless man if God exists? I'll be punished for it.
One day you'll understand. One day.
So, yeah, I agree with that, man. Fuck this video.
I don't need to see him in a bathrobe.
And last but not least, I wonder if this is going to sound like moral relativity or relativism.
Moral relativism.
This is Exhibit E.
Shoot. You have to have like a sheet that just
That's
Exhibit A. Ah, hold on.
That's Steven Crowder. His
Matt Hunter.
ideas are psychopath.
Liberal logic. Oh no. All right. Liberal logic. Morality is relative. Liberal logic. Quote, morality is relative, but war is absolutely immoral. Subjectivity and relativism in one breath, dogmatic absolution in the next. My bad. Absolutism in the next.
Yeah, it's contradictory. I understand what you're saying.
Occupy. No.
And I don't like using the words left and right and leftist.
No, I don't either.
Liberal shit, because right now those guys are like anti-Russia right now.
Yeah.
They're like ready to go to war against Russia.
Fuck that.
So.
Occupy says, no, you are absolving him. He knows what he's doing. All these right-wing hacks know. He's a multi-millionaire. Did you know he was a child voice actor and rich before he even started in social media? Okay. So look, if he knows what he's doing, that means he's corrupt, okay?
Or acting corrupt.
Acting corrupt.
Right? Because you can't be... I hate to say Stefan Molyneux, but...
Yeah.
Like, you can't be you can't just call someone, you are a serial killer. Meanwhile, they have to eat breakfast and take showers. Like, that's not who they are, right? That's a portion.
A portion.
So,
if anything, it basically means because they do something like that, it means they buried a part, and here comes the philosophical stuff, they buried a part of themselves a long time ago, and it's suppression of something that happened to them. Now, I don't mean they were touched, that's why they killed. No. I mean a part of themselves that they don't want to face, and they got to bury and bury and bury.
Yeah.
So, look, I'm not absolving him. I'm really not. It's, in my opinion, it's a better way of looking at it as far as, okay, Crowder, Molyneux, Alex Jones, I don't know how to say that one name.
Mike Cernovich.
Yeah, Dave Rubin, Shapiro, Ollie. Okay, look, dude. They're probably corrupt and ignorant. I'm not going to call them evil. I'm going to call them the actions of which they probably do is empty. Like I'm going to lie right now. Right?
I don't know how many are lying.
That's what I mean.
They might have some grand idea of some sort of moral thing that will happen, but, ends justify
a portion of them is immoral and evil. I'm saying the fact that, like, when you make an immoral action, right?
Yeah.
When you openly lie about something regarding, like, hey, these people are dying, but I'm going to lie about it. Okay, that itself is an empty act, right? I would call that's evil. I'm not going to call you evil, though, because deep down you fucking know that's wrong, Yeah. You know, like, subconsciously, you know it's wrong, What's this?
Ad hominem.
Ad hominem arguments. How would being a millionaire and a child actor make him wrong in his assertions?
That is directed at Occupy. Occupy. Handle Matt on.
I'm not for saying it. I already said my portion. My portion. Star Wars? Portions. It's a big part. Like, okay, I call him ignorant. And if he is corrupt, then so be it. But let's say he has a fucking epiphany. Like, this isn't right. This isn't the right thing to do. This is wrong. Okay? And there you go.
Yeah.
What happens there is, hey, look, now you can make the choice. Do the right thing or continue to do the wrong thing. It's the man that's aware that there's a dead body in the ballroom, and is he going to continue dancing? Or is he going to say, holy fucking dead body, you are pretending that you don't see this? And then we'll see what happens. And the champion will say, what the fuck are you all doing? This isn't right. This is messed up. Like, what's going on here? This is immoral. And their morals don't get knocked down. They're basically indestructible. The morals that hold up. The morality. The right thing to do. Etc. Etc. Him being a millionaire means he has an angle to justify his wealth.
Super pro-capitalism. And doesn't want to pay taxes. Alright, let's watch this last video.
One thing that's important, we were talking about this, and I received some emails and tweets today. Why do you think the left joins up with Islam so much when all of their values fly in the face of things that leftists claim they support? I think it comes down to control. I think there are a lot of people out there who don't know, a lot of Bernie people, a lot of Hillary people, a lot of people out there who aren't malicious, who've bought into the lie, right? They think they want to be tolerant. Many people probably believe genuinely that Christian conservative Republicans are more of a problem than Islam. There are a lot of people out there who have bought that. And,
well,
this is very odd coming from him.
I think they take that stance because of people like you. So like they all believe this. They all act on this. Even if there's 3 million of them living in our country, they all strap on vests. They all stone their daughters if they show their faces. They all do this. They all follow this exact thing.
And if they don't, they're not a true Muslim.
They should be riding on Toyota 4-wheel trucks with AKs spraying out the back.
90s
Muslim.
truck commercial.
So yeah, they're not really. The reason I think it's become popular to do so is less because they're fighting for Muslims and more about fighting against guys like you. That's what I think.
It's possible.
And I blame them for not being educated, but I don't think they're malicious. Then there are people like Hillary Clinton. Then there are people like Bernie Sanders, like Barack Obama.
Seemingly pseudo-genuine personalities. Maybe Bernie Sanders is okay. But the other two are like, come on, these guys obviously play to crowds.
Even Bernie Sanders, I'm like...
He makes some political moves that are like, okay, this seems strategically political.
Yeah, I know.
These other guys just seem like false personalities. That's how I feel.
Now, Hunter, what's wrong with being wealthy? Occupy. Nothing if you aren't evil. Matt Hunter, why is he evil?
Stop dry snitching, son.
It's on the fucking comments. It's not dry snitching.
Continuing.
Obviously, they know better. They've had their Homeland Security briefings. Obviously, they understand the evil that is straight from the pit of hell, or whatever you believe, that is Islam.
See, he says Islam itself is evil. Why, that's not an argument.
Matt, you're supposed to say that's not an argument. I want a shirt that says like Matt, like it's like a Matt Hunter shirt, and it says on the front of it, "That's not an argument." Like no, it says "Enter explanation here." That's not an argument.
All right.
I kid, Matt. I'm just kidding.
But for political expediency, they have to keep their constituency in the dark. So there are two groups of people. But I think it comes down to control. And Islam is a big system of control. Leftists want control. And the way to control people is to... What's the easiest way to control people?
He said it.
Fear. Fear.
Fear-mongering.
I think fear controls people. To where what you do is you shoot away at their personality until you narrow them down to this fight or flight instinct, animalistic type thing.
So I'd say fear...
and you control them with that.
People let fear control them.
Right?
No.
Huh?
People let fear.
Yes, but if you're conditioned, not really.
Fair enough. So I want to make sure you're not making distinctions. It's an outside force. You have nothing. Can't control.
No.
All right.
I'm saying it's a pit bull that could fuck up any human.
Yeah.
But you raise them as a puppy, and every time they get out of line, yank the fuck out of their chain. They're like, okay, I'll listen to that guy from now on. I don't want to get choked out.
By the way, that's horrible.
I mean, how do you have like?
That's horrible.
How do you have like cage fighting dogs, right?
Yeah.
How do you keep them nice to you but mean to everything else?
Yeah.
Or guard dogs. How are they nice to you but mean to everything else? Yeah. It can't just be food. I wouldn't think it's just food.
Fuck no.
They might look to everyone for food then.
Yeah.
But why are they mean to someone and nice to another?
Maybe they tried to pet the dog and it pissed himself, and ever since then, he's like, this guy's shady as fuck. And there's only one guy in the whole world that it happened to. That is sin, only is evil we are fighting. No, occupy. Manu is probably just an ignorant fucker who claims to be a philosopher, but
I think he's a fucking magician. He's an illusionist.
An illusionist.
You see, I'm reading your mind. Meanwhile, he has somebody in the back room calling up information on you. Okay, his mom just died. Or did your mom pass away?
Fuck. Man.
Sorry. That's just me baiting him into a debate, which he'll never watch this video.
And losing big time.
I don't know. Continuing.
I don't know about that.
Obviously, you can get into the physical, taking firearms away from a populace, but before people, I'm not saying that all liberals are like Hitler, before any regimes, whether it's Hitler, whether it's Mao, whether it's Stalin, this is why the First Amendment is so important, right? We're not just talking about the ability to protect yourself with the Second Amendment. The first thing they do, and the thing they secure more than anything else, is controlling information.
Fear.
Once again, I say fear. Right?
It's like, they're going to wear guns.
Then you control the information. Right? Like, these guys are coming to kill you. Fear. Now you control the information. See, I have evidence. Or make sure you shout it out in the nightly news every night. Are Muslims moving into your neighborhood? Check in at 10 o'clock. With Chuck Top.
Loving neighbors. Invite you over for dinner or sleeper cells. Tonight at 8. It's like, what?
Even that's like a fear tactic, but
it is.
You see the media controlling information. I don't think he wants to use the word fear because he might use it himself for his patrons.
Jordan Dillard, YouTuber and philosopher, or sleeper cell? Find out tonight at 9. It's like, what? What?
It's like, why do they trust the Muslims? They bomb and massacre Christians all over the world.
Why do you trust U.S. politicians?
Is that fear or control of information? Which one is that? I don't know.
Ask his neckbeard.
I mean, what got an entire populace, rattled and got these, whatever, untold number of people signing up for the military? Oh, planes running into buildings on purpose?
Planes also running into a harbor.
Yeah. It's like, oh shit.
Some sort of a tragic event.
Then we control the information. It was these guys that did it. Let's go fight them.
What is Molyneux ignorant about specifically?
Well, we'll start from his base.
Why don't you gag on that red pill? Why don't you?
We'll start from his base point of truth, right? If you're a philosopher and you claim to be teaching wisdom, your basis needs to be something about truth, or how do you arrive at the truth, or what is the truth, which is rarely. I don't think anyone should be diving into that, really.
What?
Unless they're talking about themselves.
What?
Like, what is the truth? As in, like, what did happen on 9/11? Well, this happened exactly. It's like, you can't really say that, right? You need more than just your words.
I got you.
So yeah, he bases truth on something you can only find with the 5 senses.
All right, keep going.
Yeah. So he bases truth on basically the only way to find truth is through the 5 senses, which means almost strictly scientific learning, as opposed to some things that just are, which don't need an explanation, doesn't need logic or reason behind it. They just are. Why don't you kill? I don't want to. It sounds like a bad idea. Do I need some logical reason behind it? Nah, it's just a choice I made. I, the self, made a choice. Not let's see. Not I've studied the not that okay, I felt pain, so I don't want to cause pain. Right? You don't necessarily need to.
Well, that's the veil of ignorance.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be shot, so I'm not going to shoot him. Like, no, we're not going to shoot him because it's the wrong thing to do.
Someone died and I see someone crying. Thus, it's a bad thing. You don't always need to go to those logical steps, really.
And why is your definition of truth more informed than his?
Because I have a complete answer for the truth, not just limited by what I can see, taste, smell, or touch, or whatever.
All masculine.
Granted, his argument is going to be like, well, you're explaining it with your senses, aren't you? It's like, yeah, well, that's the content we have to play with, right? If the content wasn't here and it's just me within myself, I can answer these questions. But I'm talking to you, so I have to use these things for communication.
Like Jordan is an organic ball, like has no face, no arms, just like a mushy like ball.
Even that's too much.
No Kramer, and it's like I can hear myself and all those things, but no, James, don't touch me, don't throw, no.
Yeah, my definition, as far as the best I can do in words, fulfills the complete truth, not partial truths or facts or we have the data to support this type things.
Data does not equate truth, you know.
I mean the whole truth.
It doesn't. It's a theory, you know. As far as data is like, you know, is there to support theories, I would say. It's a what most likely is or it isn't, you know. But even then, things can be like, you know, swayed a different way. But there are absolute truths.
Yeah, and this truth does not break the wall as far as keeping certain things external and certain things internal. Yeah. I probably used a bad reference with the wall, but it allows the exchange of both. As in, like, did you see that car crash? Truth. I believe I saw that car crash.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you're an actual person I'm talking to.
Sure.
I could be dreaming. You could be a robot. Could be a simulation. That would be more of the whole truth, but content would end up, once you introduce content to truth, it'll keep going on forever and ever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
What's the rate of gravity? Well, it's 9.8 meters per second squared.
It's ever changing.
And then it's like, well, what's after the 9.8? It's 9.81. After that, 9.83.
Yeah.
And it goes on and on.
Not only that, it's like, oh, we create these numbers.
Yes.
Ah.
And each number is infinite. And
yeah.
What's 1? 1 is 1, but it's also infinity, right? You could say 1 over infinity plus 1 over infinity plus 1 over infinity plus 1 over infinity, on and on and on. It'll eventually reach 1, but it doesn't really because it's infinity.
Like pi. It's like this number, this, and so on, so on, so on, so on, so on. Occupy. My truth is rooted in reality. His is rooted in fantasy masquerading as fact, as his pebbles. What?
As he peddles his sophism. I've heard that before, but I haven't looked into it.
Me either.
To me, it sounds very Ayn Randian.
Somewhat.
But I have beefs with her philosophies, too. She's like, we need to observe things objectively and rationally. It's like, well, what are those? Are you objective and rational?
She's on her deathbed. You're like, no, you're not dying without this. Wait.
I think I had the argument with the guy on Twitter. He's like, a guy without arms cannot, like, he would only be imagining throwing a baseball.
Yeah.
So his experience of throwing the ball would be subjective. I'm like, well, I'm the only one that can occupy this space at this time with my particular arms, and I throw a baseball. And the guy next to me throws a baseball too. Like, neither one of us threw the ball exactly the same, at the exact same time, in the exact same space, with the exact same past experience of a ball, and on it goes. Yeah. And it's like, well, that makes them both subjective. There is no objective throwing a ball, right? At what point does throwing a ball turn into dropping a ball, right? It's like, is this throwing? Is this throwing? Is this throwing? Is this throwing?
Yeah.
Is that throwing?
And it keeps going.
Anyways, more Steven Crowder.
And his opened shirt.
With chest hair.
He glued those on. We both know.
He has like that vomit face. Like if you imagine vomit on his like right here.
We all have those moments.
I know. Alright.
It's why Cuba doesn't have a free press. Or Venezuela. Of course, I don't think Nazi Germany had a free press. So I do think it comes down to control. Otherwise, it's...
And we have free press, don't we? Yes.
Yes.
Nobody gets silenced over here.
No.
Like anybody owns a specific, media outlets who print papers and what have you. No, definitely not.
You were probably never kicked off of Twitter or banned on YouTube or anything. You've had completely free press.
If anything, it's like, I'm going to do this.
Or friends of yours.
I'm going to do this that way. See, I've been affected too. You see? See? It's like Joker. It's like, yeah, see?
All right.
Unjustifiable. It's unjust. There's no way for the two to mesh. Progressivism, liberalism, whatever you want to call it, and Islam. Here's something else I think that is important. Listen, I'm generally a non-interventionist.
I think it's possible, right? I don't know their religion too well. I'm sure their religion isn't strap on bombs and blow each other up. Take guns up, start shooting other people.
I'm sure that those are just the example. Those are prototypical examples of. I'm gonna listen to the loudest guy in the room. You're an infidel, or I'm gonna Scientology. I'm gonna disconnect you. Whatever the fuck they say.
Yeah.
It's like, huh? What?
Plus, you could.
I completely forgot about that.
You can take passages in the Bible and do the same shit.
Oh, sure. And I could also argue, like, is that bad shit here because someone put it in here by design, and we're missing books that decipher this differently?
Yeah.
Or is it just nope? They're bad. Like, yeah, that must be it. That's it.
When Jesus says, "Get beneath me, devil," he means that type of person is a devil and they need to be rid with. Or he meant, stop being an asshole. You're annoying me right now. You're bringing up petty arguments when I'm trying to say some real shit. Get the fuck away from me. Or I'm going this way.
I'm going this way with my shrooms. Leave me alone.
I'm going my own way.
And he said, me too. No, we guess
you're like, Jesus the virgin. It's like,
no, it's
not by choice.
No.
I just had to go my own way.
It's Jigtow. So Jesus is going his own way. Jesus don't give a fuck.
Sorry, Mary Magdalene. All right.
Interventionist, like I said, I think the main point should be if we go into a country, you go in to win, you kill their leaders, you break stuff, you end it.
Yeah, sounds like that's what George Bush was thinking too.
Oh my God! All right, keep going. Keep going.
Just going. Just kill the leaders. Get the fuck out of there, man.
Keeps going.
No problem.
He just keeps going with the stupid shit. Like, this is unreal. Like, dude, you know what you're saying here?
He's joking, obviously. He's a
comedian. I'm sure.
He's a comedian.
Yeah.
That's what I think. If the United States is going in, you go in. If you're in a fight, you're in the fight at that point. Otherwise, don't do it. So yeah, I think the United States needs to be selfish when it comes to that. What I do hope people take into consideration, though, is the lie that the United States is this evil empire. That we're just going over there, we're nation building, and this is bullcrap. The United States is the biggest empire there is. Let me explain to you. You obviously know ISIS, where they burn people alive in cages, where they rip people's heads off, where they cut their tongues out of their body while they're...
Oh, you might have had a roundabout way, responsibility in a roundabout way with.
Oh, sure.
With ISIS existing.
I mean, it's not like let's say we sell weapons and all that crap to Saudi Arabia, and then all of a sudden a certain group out there is now, hey, look, you thought they were gone, but now they're back.
And Qatar.
Qatar.
We used to find them.
Or Obama says, oh, I don't know how these. Oh, you accidentally dropped these. Oops. There's weapons.
Well, like, does ISIS have like a Toyota deal? The way like Kanye has the way that Kanye has a Adidas deal.
Yeah.
It's like, just signed a deal, man. Got those Toyota 4-wheelers. Look, they're so easy to mount guns onto.
It's like Meek Mill in Philadelphia with his fucking 4-wheeler. Keep going.
It's not like, a lot of these Muslim countries aren't fighting ISIS themselves. Yeah. They just get distracted by these moderate rebels.
Yeah. It's like this guy would not want to believe that this shit hasn't been happening for years.
He thinks we play no role in any of this shit.
That is absolutely bogus. Yeah. Incredibly ignorant.
We're calling us evil. Like, no, No.
Calling people in your government. You're ignorant,
There's
first
a whole
of all.
bunch of dumbasses all over. It's just you're spouting pro-America so hard that it's like, dude, we have to point out these problems so you stop saying this shit.
Not only that, too. At the point, we have to call this dude out, too.
If we were in the Middle East, if we were in Syria, and this guy was like, oh, pro-Syria, pro-Bashar al-Assad, he's the man, pro him, yes. We'd be like, listen, man, this guy does shitty shit too. Let's call him out for what he does. There you go.
I'm not pro-Assad, you know? It's like, look, that guy, he probably did some shitty shit as well, you know?
He's not their, like, prime choice, really.
No.
He was democratically elected.
Sure.
But at the same time, they're like, okay, I can't wait for next election. I want someone a little more liberal than this guy.
Sure. So if you look at it this way, right? It's like, okay, this guy isn't great.
He's like a George Bush to me.
Maybe.
As far as politically.
You guys students, I'm a student of myself.
I'm about to pretend I'm a student just so this guy will fucking debate me.
Crowder?
Yeah.
Oh.
Steven Crowder only debates college kids.
I am not in college, sir.
He faux debates like actual intellectuals. He puts on a funny outfit. I'm pretending I'm a liberal. I'll make their arguments for them.
No Occupy. We are not. Congrats on 100 subs. You guys made it. See, that's what we thought, and then we looked at other channels, and they have 100,000.
Yeah,
then there's 1 million. It never ends.
Well, we're 999,900 away. We're getting there.
Yesterday we had 103, but apparently 3 people were like, "Fuck you guys."
Our process will be slow because we change topics so much, and we're not team playing, right?
So
we'll talk about Jimmy Dore one day, but then we might shit on him the next if he says something stupid.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is.
So it's basically Yankees. I like Yankees. Subscribe. Red Sox. I hate you guys. Unsubscribe. Red Sox fans. Yeah. Subscribe. Fuck the Yankees and fuck the Red Sox. Fuck you too. Unsubscribe on both sides. So it keeps, it's back and forth. And
yeah. But thank you anyways, Occupy.
No, you don't really touch your lips. You just relish. And you stare at him with your eyeballs popping out. McGregor did it like...
Except against Khabib. I was
he didn't do it. He went like this.
Looks different.
He didn't do the, you're gonna die.
Let's go, boy.
He didn't do umbalu hai, or whatever the fuck. I don't know how you say it. Yeah. It's like, says, you, in subtitles, right?
Yeah.
He says, you are going to die.
That's for you, by the way.
Yankees are the greatest. Fuck the Red Sox. Just saying. Yes. Fuck the Red Sox. Fuck them.
Yankee fan. Fuck the Yankees. Fuck the Red Sox. Fuck the Blue Jays. Fuck the Orioles. Fuck the Rays. Fuck the White Sox. Fuck the Royals. Fuck the Tigers. Fuck the Astros. Fuck the Rangers. Fuck the Athletics. Fuck the...
Braves?
No.
Padres?
You get the drift. That's going American League.
Yankees! Yay! Padres didn't do anything, you guys. Leave them alone.
Fuck the Padres.
Oh, it's all because of Caminetti.
Fuck. Alright, continuing.
Don't be mad at the MVP season. Juice.
They're alive and they cut their eyes out and their arms and their legs. In North Korea, the level to which they brutalize Christian dissidents is unbelievable. From public humiliation to just wood chips up the thumbs.
Aren't you just talking about upside down crucifixions earlier? Whatever. I don't know. That's some pagan shit, right?
Some pagan shit.
Seesaw abortions, forced abortions. For those of you who don't know what it is in North Korea, seesaw abortion. If you have children listening, I would advise you cover their ears or turn down the radio right now. This happens in North Korean prison camps. Just because you want to say, well, listen, the United States has no business there. Maybe. But let's not act like there's a moral equivalency. They will take a pregnant woman, of course, if you're a Christian, and put a board on her, and people will do a seesaw on the pregnant woman until there's a forced abortion. Really, really evil stuff that they have to proactively think about. And let me tell you something.
Man, that is shitty.
If that does happen.
But also saying you can't do anything.
No.
Sounds pretty bad, too.
At the same time, though, I'm not going to... just because that shit happens does not mean, see where we should be. Like, no, man.
Yeah.
To completely disregard that the U.S. is involved in some sort of geopolitical thing where it involves a bunch of business and corporations and money-making ideas. Yeah. And the U.S. government is not some sort of crime syndicate is kind of ignorant, if you ask me. You know?
Just because we don't do it to our own citizens and do it to others, do it to other countries around the world. It's not like we had a
think about that.
It's not like we had a torture program.
Sure.
That never existed.
Think about it. That makes sense, right? Okay, let's not do it to our own people. We'll do it, but we'll do it in such a way where they really won't see it that well. And it'll be very under the blanket over here in these other foreign countries, right? But it won't be so on the surface. So that way we're not labeled the next fucking empire out there, right? So what we'll do is we'll do a way like, hey, listen, this is the New Age empire. We'll make money, have control and power, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think he just misses why people dislike America. Americans disliking their own government and shit.
Here's my beef now. It's like he's aware of this, that people feel this way now, and yet he's like, no. I'm like, okay, you're next, dude.
And he's Canadian.
He's on the list as far as the people who are like, I think you're purposely not looking at this shit. Yeah. Just saying,
Like, why can't you complain about both of those ideas? Why can't you, like, this forced abortion shit is bad. But this is bad, too.
I don't know, man.
You just point out the bad ideas. That's what I talk about. That's why I don't like the fucking fan shit. Alright.
That woman getting a forced abortion in a North Korean prison camp, her only hope is seeing American troops coming over that hill. She's not waiting on the British.
Her only hope is getting out of this scenario. It doesn't matter who the fuck shows up.
Yeah.
There is no... We're the only ones that are good.
You can show them killing kids now. Go ahead, show U.S. bombs killing innocent civilians and especially children.
Show U.S. soldiers pouring water out in front of thirsty people.
Show them driving away, right, and like dangling food and water in front of these kids.
Yeah.
Then pouring it and throwing it at them, or whatever the fuck happened. But you won't. You won't do that, will you?
No.
You won't.
She's not waiting on the Turkish. She's not waiting on the French. Her only hope in life is that the United States decide enough is enough. Am I saying that makes it the United States' job? No, I'm not.
You are saying it makes them good.
But I'm saying you need to understand it from their perspective.
It's called being a hero by accident.
I wouldn't say by accident, but it just makes...
The ignorant hero.
This is, re-cementing the fact that I'm sure you have no idea what good is.
Fair enough.
It's just re-cementing.
Fair enough.
Vilifying American troops and conservative Americans who believe that we have power and great responsibility that comes with that man being burned alive in a cage by ISIS. His only hope, his only prayer is American Air Force jets.
Who may be funded by the U.S. government.
Yeah.
Indirectly or directly.
I've never heard someone just so pro-war. Like,
fuck, dude, this guy's new.
Absolutely pro-war. But here, man, here's an M16. Go ahead. Here's a free ticket.
Here's a free ticket.
You're going to Iraq, man. Go ahead. Enjoy it. I mean...
You're going to be on the front lines, kid. Alright, keep going. Let's finish this. Pause.
Or Navy jets coming over and dropping an ungodly firestorm on these terrorist, evil, horrendous bags of human scum.
Alright, okay, that's enough. I had enough of this shit. Okay? Okay?
I was going to say, you don't know what evil is either.
That's what I mean. This guy thinks he's so fucking tough calling for the deaths of a bunch of millions of people.
Yeah, it's rain fire.
That's called being a scumbag. Okay?
It's rain this new technology. It's so new that...
Talking about something you literally don't know, like, you probably have no idea as far as which side is what,
Well, They're going to use this new technology that manipulates fire, and it's going to go this way, and it's going to jump over innocent civilians and hit the bad guy.
You know what the sad thing is?
It's called discriminate fire.
The sad thing, I don't think they do it. I don't think they do it.
Citizen.
I don't think they do it, man. Honestly.
I don't think so.
It's like, because look, they fucking, look, I guarantee you they fucking know, like, okay, there really is no, like, specific.
We need a bad guy to hold up.
Yeah, so you have to create one.
We need a face.
So I'm not saying, oh, the U.S. military is secretly parading around as ISIS. No, I'm saying the U.S. government is directly or indirectly funding these groups. And there's so many fucking groups to call them, it's Al-Qaeda or it's ISIS. Like, there's so many independent groups, it's probably insane. So...
And also, how do these independent journalists find this out? And somehow the government doesn't know. It's like,
I mean, let's see. What's her name? Abby Martin?
Unforeseen consequences that happened.
Abby Martin went there and reported on it. I'm not saying I agree with everything she says. And then there's Ryan Dawson, who was in Japan, but somehow somewhat of, from what I see, an expert most likely as far as geopolitical stuff and war games, historical stuff, etc., etc. And Corbett, who's also in Japan. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it.
I'm about to move to Japan. Or...
if they let me play.
Or are we already in Japan?
I don't know.
Never know.
Keep going.
It's their only hope. So you need to understand this. I'm not saying it's our job. But when we go off and act as though the United States is taking their oil, let's put this into context. These people are facing brutal torture. Oppressive regimes. They have no rights.
Where? What regimes are you talking about? What's the brutal shit in regimes? Well, okay, Saudi Arabia, okay, but we're funding them pretty blatantly.
Yeah.
We openly fund them. Now, where else is this happening?
And when people hear about it, like, I don't like that.
Where else are these regimes? He's not saying country names.
No.
Or are you just saying ISIS? Well, ISIS doesn't control state territory. Right? They're a faction. They're a rebel group. So it's like, what regime are these?
Isn't it funny how, right? A lot of these
these
oppressive regimes. Like, let's see. Okay, the government goes in. First of all, you hear whispers of regime change from the U.S. government, if not the media. That's where it begins.
Yeah.
And then, as far as like public talk, regime change in Iran is necessary. Look what they're doing. So it becomes that, and then it becomes okay. Well, how the fuck did, like, even if it's a bad person in charge, right? A poor, you know what I'm saying? Not the greatest person in charge doing bad shit, right? Yeah. How the fuck did they get there? Did the U.S. have anything to do with the U.S. government have anything to do with that person being in that position of power any kind of way? Like, for example, did you leave an open void for this person just to waltz in and take over? Number two, when you take them out, like what you usually do, as far as I don't know that they do that. I have evidence to support that theory. When you take them out and call for regime change and you put their guy in, is anything gonna be different? Probably not. Probably the rich will get richer and so forth, and the country will still be like, in pretty bad shape. So it's really funny how this guy stands there in his little fucking chair talking and whatever.
And just make sure it's clear, we're not saying that because, we're only talking about the U.S., how bad the U.S. is. It's because he's not talking about anything the U.S. does, period. He's talking about only what these particular types of people do.
And not only that, I'm sure other foreign countries that do that do bad shit, fuck them too. Their governments. Matt Hunter, I don't know what you mean. U.S. government, drink. America, drink.
He's playing a drinking game. Anytime we say U.S. government or America.
Matt Hunter, if you have a fucking problem with it, man, I don't know what to tell you, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Do you want me just to not talk about like what the U.S. government is doing, talk about what England's doing, what Germany's doing, what Israel's doing, what a bunch of these other corrupt political leaders are doing, I mean, I can look at it, and I'm sure it's happening right now, but we're talking about something that's very specific, and that involves America's government.
It's hard to disconnect them.
So I don't know what you want, man. Unless you're the one that's purposely kind of like not looking at it. I don't know.
He'll tell you what he wants, what he really, really wants.
But he believes what he wants. I'll take what he wants when he believes what he wants. And I'm
Those people, guarantee you ask them, what do you want to see? It would be rescued by the Americans. It's their own.
No, I think they just want just that human nature thing. I want safety. They don't care what form it takes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. I don't mean like trading one dictator for another dictator. That doesn't mean safety. It means straight up safety.
They're not far
Only hope. Because we're the only ones who can do it. Does it mean it's our job? No.
When I see bombs and
But there is some responsibility that comes with being a country, the only country who's had its crap together for decades. Let's put that into context next time someone tries to...
Okay, that's...
Probably through psychopathic means, not gonna lie.
Probably. Keep going.
To act as though the United States is no better than ISIS.
Hey, if you like this clip...
Alright.
That's enough of Crowder.
Yeah, go subscribe to his channel. Yeah, some intellectually challenging content.
I'm out of the camera angle.
Oh, what happened? The camera moved?
Yeah, you tilted it.
No, it was fine when I started it. Whatever.
Hold on. It's weird when Arabs are slaughtered. Oh, my bad. Matt Hunter says, it's weird when Arabs are slaughtered one another and the U.S. does nothing. The rest of the world calls them immoral. But when they do something, the world calls it regime change.
But when they do something, the world calls it regime change. What? When Arabs are slaughtered...
I'll read it again. It's weird when Arabs are slaughtered.
Arabs.
Yeah. When Arabs are slaughtering one another, and the U.S. does nothing, the rest of the world calls them immoral. But when they do something, the world calls it regime change.
Well, because let's say you have two factions in one country, fighting, killing each other, and all that shit. Now, what they're probably wanting to see is diplomacy, not we're going to favor one side over the other and just bomb that other team or give military support to this side or whatever. And you see a difference there?
I would hope.
There's a difference there.
I don't understand what I missed here. I really don't. I'm not on Team Fuck America. I'm like, no, man. I'm like, isn't this what's happening here?
Take the Syrian conflict, right? You have a civil war. You have the Syrian government versus the moderate rebels. What do? We shit on one side and militarily supported the other. As opposed to, okay, guys, can we work this out somehow? We'd love to be mediators here. No. Or Israel and Palestine. They might have, spoken that they wanted some sort of reconciliation. But really it was, okay, guys, you need to make peace. Oh, look, Israel's bombing Palestine. Oh, I guess there's nothing we can do about that. And then on and on and on.
Again, Matt Hunter, I don't understand what you might be missing. I don't.
Also, there was something interesting. I think it was in Syria, where a journalist found some of the shells of the moderate rebels, I think.
I don't know.
And they all had American serial numbers and shit on them.
I heard about that. I don't know if that's true.
It wasn't a big deal on the news, but I heard about it. All right, that is it. That just looks like a cell.
A cell.
Like we're in a cell.
Yeah.
Whatever. Thanks for watching, all 2, 3.
It's back and forth. Matt Hunter is drunk.
They're giving us views.
He's drunk, man. I said American U.S. government too many times.
He's our sleeper cell.
Our sleeper cell.
He's our paid.
He's our most.
He's our paid ringer. He's our controlled opposition.
He's our most consistent commentator.
Yeah.
Probably our viewer at this point.
If our chat room fills up, we know who.
We know who did it. All right.
'Cause I remember Occupy. I think he does a lot of lurking. He or she.
They.
They.
All right.
All right. Peace out, guys. I mean, not peace. Pieces. War, guys. Regime change. Muslims are automatically bad, and thumbs up this time.